The Wolverine Sports Network is on the air.
He's going to keep the football. Drive for the goal line. It's a touchdown! The Wolverines have won it on the final play of the game. Touchdown East. A Wolverine walk-off winner.
Ostrowski, the righty, winds and deals. Strike three! It's a perfect game! Tate Ostrowski has thrown a perfect game for the Wolverines.
Piper back to throw. Has time. Looking for the end zone, and what is it called? Touchdown! It is a touchdown for the Wolverines with 7 seconds to play.
Grove City has won the President's Athletic Conference Championship. Grove City wins the PAC. The Cinderella story is alive.
Piper takes the snap. Looking to throw. Fires downfield. Frazier made the catch and scored the touchdown to win it for the Wolverines.
Today on the Wolverine Sports Network, the Grove City College football team will make its third straight trip to the NCAA playoffs. The Wolverines heading to Indiana to take on Hanover in a first-round game in the 40-team 2025 NCAA Championship Tournament. But first, it's time once again for the Andrew DiDonato Show here on the Wolverine Sports Network. And as always, this week's show brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City. Hi, everybody. This is Ryan Briggs, joined by Grove City College head football coach Andrew DiDonato. Coach, we knew we would get to do another one of these when we sat here last week. We didn't know would it be for a playoff game, for a bowl game in Canton. We really didn't know until about 6 o'clock last Saturday night. We'll talk more about that, but we're getting ready for the playoffs once again. Congratulations. What an awesome feeling.
Awesome feeling. What an honor. 3 straight years, Briggsy, getting to do one of these together for the NCAA tournament. To be in the big dance 3 years in a row is a blessing, and we certainly don't take it for granted. It's excited to be back.
For the Wolverines to get into the playoffs, the first thing they had to do was win at Hiram. And the Wolverines did that 63-14, over 500 yards of offense. The ground game, a big day, a lot of running backs contributing. We saw 2 quarterbacks. A lot of young guys got to play. 2 defensive scores. Obviously, a strong way to finish the regular season last week against a Hiram team that was much improved and certainly presented some challenges.
Yeah. Hiram's quarterback he's special. He really is. He's dangerous. He put up a lot of yards for a reason. He's excellent. I thought our defense did a great job. Number one, taking away the run, but wow, 2 defensive touchdowns, and just amazing. You get a guy like Jace Herrick bumped down the linebackers, had very minimal reps there, and he gets an interception return for a touchdown. I mean, just the stuff like that. Mason Klaus, man, second longest, I think you said?
Second longest, Klaus to the house.
Klaus to the house. So just a special day there. And then, offensively, really, you've put up over 500 yards. Everything's really going for you. Obviously, the run game, which has been strong all year, but I was excited about the pass game. I felt that we've had some good weeks of practices, guys having good timing together, and even we've been intentional with the younger guys getting the same quarterback throw into the same receivers, and I thought all units have built up good timing together, and to capitalize on a lot of one-on-ones, get the ball in the end zone through the air, just all around a great football game.
The Wolverines getting the win, and a couple of the key plays starting on the defensive side. 21-0. Grove City had the lead. Hiram driving, though, and then, Hiram, as you said, a team that has put up some yardage and points this year. The quarterback, Sean Tejeda, Mason Klaus, interception at the 397 yards. Really, I think if we had a play of the game, that was the play of the game.
Yeah, because they had built some momentum. They put together a long drive, converted some, key conversion downs, and so they were building some momentum, and, Mason's just been a highlight all year. I mean, obviously, secondary, NCAA leading number 1 interceptions in the country.
24 now,
24, yeah. So we do it again in a big moment. And we've had a lot of those, down towards the red zone as teams were driving. We've been a defense that just has really capitalized in big moments. And Mason did it. And then, what I love is watching him run down the sidelines, everyone blocking for him, just so excited. It's, we've played great team defense all year, and the whole team was reflected there in Mason's interception return.
And I'm sure he probably got a little bit of a rousing as he's got the last 15 yards. It looked like his gas tank like those stock cars, the fuel light comes on. He was on fumes there at the end after being gone out there for a pretty long drive and then 97 yards, but he made it.
Yeah, he certainly was. I mean, not used to running that many yards. But Mason, what a story all season long. We talked about guys needing to step up, and he has and continues to make plays each week.
And a guy who started at free safety, then changed positions because of injury a third of the way through the season.
Yeah, when Bowden had to bump out the corner, that just really shuffled things around. And man, just the whole safety crew, him, Keegan, multiple of those guys up for top interceptions in the league, and just continue to make plays.
And then later on, the final touchdown scored by Jace Herrick. Earlier in that possession, before that, and Jace was out there playing defensively, and I thought back to last year in the playoffs, he scored the touchdown on the blocked punt against Johns Hopkins, and I kind of casually almost said to Mark Beans, I said, the ball always seems to find Jace Herrick. When he's about special teams, even I guess they tried an onside kick and it bounced off of him. I mean, no matter, he's like a ball magnet, man. He certainly wasn't that interception. As you said, playing a different position, but he looked like he'd been there since day one.
Yeah, obviously Caleb Brubaker's a good example of a safety that we felt could play linebacker and utilize that speed at the linebacker position, which you have to have that. Then just offenses nowadays, you just really need to have as much speed on the field as possible. And, we've looked at Jace and we thought, he does such a great job, special teams. He's been doing great at safety. And we thought he'd be a really good linebacker too. So we've been trying to play him at both spots. So we put him in there, and you talk about him finding the ball. Here he is, a linebacker, new position, but still finds, not only the ball, but just made an incredible break on it, read on the quarterback, reading the shoulder, and then obviously able to take it to the house. So just proud of him, and, we're excited about his versatility, not only for this year, but as we go into next year as well.
Wear number 22 now, like his dad Brian did back in the 1980s. Yeah. Brian, a versatile guy in our Hall of Fame, both track and football, so that flexibility runs in the bloodlines.
Yes, I love it.
Of course, the second half, the Wolverines had a 35-0 lead, and you're able to play a lot of young guys in the second half. We saw freshman quarterback Mike Holloman play the bulk of the snaps. Shepard Miller getting a lot of carries at running back. The young receivers, guys like Caden Spencer, Joe Gregoire, who's a sophomore but missed all last year. Essentially, he's a freshman athletically, and not skipping anybody, but those are just some of the guys that stood out offensively. And then defensively, same thing, seeing some young guys out there for the first time, as well as some reserves who have some playing time but don't necessarily start. That had to be very valuable in a lot of ways from the standpoint of in case somebody is needed this week or beyond, and also getting some real game film on guys, in a live game situation.
Yeah, we always try to look at things through both the narrow and wide lens. Obviously, the narrow lens will put us in the best position to make a run through the NCAA tournament, and obviously Saturday to put ourselves in position to go to the postseason. But also the wide lens as we look not only this year but in future. And Mike's just a guy that's done a great job all year. Has been incredible on scout team, and that's how scout teams are so important. We find guys because if you can make plays against the first defense, we think, hey, we want to see you and get some action. It was a game where we were able to do that, and he stepped in and did an excellent job. Those receivers as well. What I love to see is taking what the defense gives you, completion after completion, got into a very nice rhythm, and really his first varsity action. And then Shepard Miller, who obviously we've seen a lot throughout the season, finding the end zone multiple times. Just we got a lot of young talent that we're excited to continue to grow and to develop.
And for those young guys too, getting that taste of action. In some cases, really the first action, and there may be some guys who won't be dressing this week because of roster limits and so forth, and perhaps that was their season finale. But now I'm sure it gives them a little extra juice and motivation going into the offseason, lifting and the conditioning and all those things too. Of hey, that was pretty cool being out there. I want to be out there all the time now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You get a taste of it, and we do things throughout the week, obviously to compete, but to get that game action, have that opportunity. But then the way they capitalized on it as well, just a lot of exciting things as we continue to build not only for this season but for the future.
Of course, we touched on the victory over Hiram and everything that went with that, 63-14. The Wolverines going into last Saturday. The easiest path into the playoffs was a win. Without a win, it all became hot air. A Cortland win over Ithaca more or less would have guaranteed the Wolverines in. Not 100%, but probably 97%. Well, as the day went on, Cortland was behind Ithaca and then ahead, and then behind and ahead, and then down 26-21. driving late, and drive stalled out. Ithaca wins 26-21. The playoff hopes take a big hit. But then some other things started to break the Wolverines' way. Coast Guard loses to Merchant Marine in the Secretary's Cup game 39-38 at Fenway Park, which knocked Coast Guard out. Wolverines are kind of back in play. Our game ended, but there were still other games going on. We talked to each other in the parking lot. It didn't look good about 4:30 in the parking lot next to the blue and white Campbell buses over at Hiram College. I know we talked, and going to the bowl game would have been certainly a terrific experience, but being seemingly that close and looking like we were going to be out by a whisker would have been hard to swallow. But then more things happened. Adrian up 34-21 at Alma. If Adrian had won, Adrian would have edged out the Wolverines for the last spot. Alma comes back and wins 35-34 to win the Michigan Conference title. And then there was one other game that was well off the radar. I mean, it was I think you would have needed a NASA radar to pick it up or something. Capital and Wilmington in the Ohio Athletic Conference. Capital at 2-7, Wilmington 3-6. And you're thinking, well, what did that have to do with anything? Well, Capital rallied from 2 touchdowns down to win 28-27. That, in turn, affected Ohio Northern. The NPI for Ohio Northern had Wilmington won. Ohio Northern would have jumped Grove City. Capital winning brought Ohio Northern down. Wolverines back up into the last spot. Wolverines go to the playoffs. So we found out officially about 7 o'clock that night. But it felt like election night. When the candidate, he or she has to win this state, or if they don't get this, they have to get 3 others. That's what it felt like. We're sort of a football version of the Electoral College, and it was what a bunch of twists and turns.
Oh, absolutely. You explained that so well. And it was, I actually had that thought. I was like, wow, I kind of feel like I got a taste of what elections would feel like when you go through the roller coaster. And I'll be honest, when the game was over, in my post game, I had prepared them essentially as we were finishing up, getting on the bus for a bowl game, and essentially just wanting to drive home. We take nothing for granted in this program. Obviously, I think a lot of people are aware. My first message to the team after a win is just congratulations on winning a game. We don't take it for granted. So and to be honest, when I was sitting there by the bus, I was all prepared for Canton and starting to think of the trips, because once I heard Cortland lost, I thought that was our ticket. But then I found, hey, we're 2 back from that bottom line, and then this is going to happen. That's going to kick a team out, and now we're 1 away. And I was like, what? And then there's live updates now. I mean, just
which is incredible.
With D3 football. And then when later that night, 6 or 7, when we were in that final slot, and it looked like all the games are done. I don't know who could possibly pass us. Just surreal. And the last team to get in the playoffs, we are truly blessed, and just to have this opportunity, and very excited. Like I said, bowl game, we wouldn't have taken for granted. It would have been fun, but the goal was to get into the NCAA tournament and play for a championship. And the fact that we have this opportunity, we are thrilled.
And of course, the team gathered Sunday at 5, watched the NCAA selection show, and we've had them here at the college as well for both soccer teams, and then on a Monday afternoon with the volleyball team doing that. Of course, last spring we had it with both lacrosse teams and baseball. Those selection shows, 2 things, they never get old for anybody. And the other thing too is, for the seniors and juniors, they've gotten to do 3 of them. But for the freshmen, it was the first time around. We have a couple new coaches first time. I mean, it's what a special thing it is to be there and to see Grove City come up on the screen. It's the 3rd straight year, and hopefully we do it many years consecutively and so forth. But the novelty never wears off.
Never wears off. And obviously, both of us being alums, just loving this place, loving Grove City. We know it's no place we'd rather be, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And, I just remember my first couple of years, I've always watched the NCAA tournament. I've just always enjoyed tuning into the games. And, obviously those first couple of years thinking, wow, these teams are so good. As we're building this. And obviously they're still that good, obviously. But, just thinking, like, how cool would it be to see Grove City in the national playoffs? And when you're sitting there and you see the national playoff logo, and here it is, and then you see Grove City pop up among the top names in the country, it's just humbling and just so exciting. A special place, special institution, obviously special athletic program, and here in football, being a part of that tournament 3 years in a row, seeing that name gave me chills. No different than the previous 2 years.
The Wolverines are heading to Hanover, Indiana, and we will talk about the Panthers, the champions of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, coming up in our final segment. We're going to take a quick break. This week there is not a PAC report, but We will have a PAC report of our own, if you will. The all-PAC teams coming out Thursday night. The Wolverines, not surprisingly, well represented. Coach and I will talk about the young men in the red and white who are named all-PAC. And then we will, of course, talk about today's opponent, Hanover, winners of 8 straight. This is the Andrew D. Donato Show, brought to you by Valley Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City.
Valley Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy. We check your oil, check your fluids, and get you clean. Fast, friendly service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Wiper blades or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally owned, nationally known. No appointment necessary. Valley Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Welcome back to the Andrew D. Donato Show here on the Wolverine Sports Network. Ryan Briggs with you, along with Grove City College head football coach Andrew D. Donato. Grove City and Hanover, the first round of the 40-team NCAA tournament, kicking off at 12:02 Eastern, a special TV time for the ESPN Plus app and so forth. But we'll be kicking off slightly after high noon in southeast Indiana. Coach, the All-Presidents Athletic Conference teams were voted upon earlier this week, Monday morning. Coaches getting together, doing it in person at Geneva College, and then the teams announced Thursday night with the All-PAC selection show that the PAC Sports Network puts together. And not surprisingly, the Wolverines well represented. Starting on the first team, the Wolverines offensively, Gabe Hilty, sophomore guard, first-year starter, named first team. And then on defense, defensive end Jordan Karcheski, linebackers Caleb Brubaker and Ben Bladel, quarterback Noah Wheeler, and Brady Lane, place kicker. 5 first-team selections. Very exciting, especially in an 11-team league that is as competitive and strong. 4 postseason teams coming out of the league. Having 5 guys, really very impressive stuff.
Yeah, it is. And, start with, you have an 11-team league and you take one position and you have 2 guys in that position be first team. When you think about linebacker with Caleb Brubaker and Ben Bladel, that's just something that was just so hard because you have 11 teams and 4 spots at that position. Usually you don't get 2 from one team. So them 2 being first team certainly stood out. Noah, I mean, all the things he's done and interception returns and Karch, I mean, having a guy first team at all 3 levels, I mean, that's incredible. And then a freshman being first team all conference kicker, Brady Lane, and then you add to it, you get a guy on offense, just really special, and just so proud of those guys and leading the way for us this season, and then the conference recognizing them.
And of course, Jordan Karcheski, 3-year starter, Ben Bladel, 4-year starter. Was Defensive Player of the Year, Newcomer of the Year during his career, of course, missing the last 3 games of the regular season due to injury. So that that certainly hurt candidacy for a Player of the Year award. Dylan Sleva, outstanding linebacker from Westminster, defensive MVP. Edging out a couple of other very good candidates, including our own Caleb Brubaker. I was on Team Brubaker, but Dylan Sleva has had a heck of a career at Westminster on a very good defense there as well. So hard to hard to quibble with that selection, but I will anyway because I'm a homer when it comes to this. But congratulations to him as well as all these guys. This you just look at these names on this list. This is a heck of a team that you'd love if you went. You would, I think, would stack up well against any other conference. Gabe Hilty. We talk about these other guys, multi-year starters or second year. Brady Lane, of course, freshman kicker, but Gabe Hilty starting at right guard this year, a first-year starter, really a first year playing a lot. He was a little bit raw coming in, but obviously a guy who has developed into, as the coaches recognize, the highest, I guess, rated lineman, if you will. I know he's the guy that you use as the over tackle on the end on the unbalanced package and stuff, much like Vinny Laprie was used years ago. And Gabe's put together a heck of a sophomore year.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you can see potential in someone, and you put them in a spot, and you believe they have the ability to grow into it, and that's what happened. And you just mentioned our 6 lineman package. When we looked at that, we've known we'd put. You just gave a good example, Vinny Laprie at that position, who was an All-American. We typically look at a guy that we want to, in the biggest moments, say, this is a guy that we know that we're confident we can run behind. And, we put him into that when he hadn't even started a game yet, and it's one of those things where we see this in you, but you got to grow into it, because you haven't had game experience. And he has, from starting at Cortland, but as the season went on, he just got better and better. And it's really all those guys. I think he's a representation. I mentioned to Coach the other day, him and Jed, the other guard, Jed Feldmeyer, I'm like, oh my goodness, these last couple of weeks that they're playing such great football. It's so special to watch both of them. And, for Gabe to be recognized, I'm just excited that he really has grown into that, you can call it feature lineman role for us. And now he's recognized by the conference as a first-team all-conference performer. And just so proud of his development, how bad he wants it, how hard he works. And he got better throughout the season. And as it clearly showed in how this voting just transpired.
The All-PAC second team, 5 more Wolverines there on offense. At running back, Ian DeMary, who has been kind of the 1 and 1A with Chase Rankin all year, leading the team in touchdowns. And Luke Jolly, second team All-PAC for the second straight year at right tackle. Then on defense, Jack Jolly. To be All-PAC at linebacker in this league is quite an accomplishment, first or second team. And Jack's second team. Then in the secondary, 2 new guys. One guy who we talked about in the first segment, Mason Klaus. Then how about Keegan Frazier, guy that wasn't starting at the beginning of the year, ends his senior year as All-PAC second team, sharing the league lead with 6 interceptions. 5 more very deserving young men.
Yeah, we just got done talking about Gabe. He plays right next to Luke, and that right side has been just great for us and dominant at many times throughout this season. And then Luke, 2 years in a row to be, an all-conference performer, special. Ian, double-digit touchdowns isn't easy. There's only a few guys who are in that spot, and 10 touchdowns this season. Him and Chase pretty much have been 50-50 carries. But I was excited for him. He kind of sat behind Clayton Parrish as a sophomore, kind of got to work with Nico last year. Now this year being the feature guy a lot of the times, and for him to jump into a second-team honor is special. Jack, like I said, I feel like we have the best linebacking core in the country, or at least I'd put it right with any linebacking core in the country. And all 3 of your linebackers either being first or second team is so special. And then you go to safety, and we talk about all the interceptions and plays between Mason Klaus and Keegan Frazier, both of them being recognized. Again, at line, there's only, really 8 spots at linebacker total in first and second team, and 8 defensive back total. Well, we had 3 linebackers and 3 defensive backs recognized within the first and second team. That's you don't see that. Being a part of this vote for almost 10 years now, you rarely ever see that happen, let alone happen in 2 different spots. That just shows you how good our defense has been this season.
Then honorable mention they have a hybrid position, tight end, fullback, H-back, Anthony Brunette. Honorable mention, then Chase Rankin, who right now is the Wolverines' leading rusher for the season at running back. And then on defense, Dave Cower, first-year starter defensive end, who has put together a really good year. He was honorable mention, as was safety Ryan Montgomery, honorable mention, All-PAC. 4 more guys there who have had really good years, in some case like a Dave Cower, maybe under the radar a little bit because of the position he plays. Anthony Brunette, he has a few stats this year, but again, more certainly a very selfless role there. Great to see those 4 guys recognized too.
Yeah, think about any time you're a first year really starting, and then to a guy like Chase, you really didn't even move into the starting role till almost halfway through the season. To be recognized all conference in any capacity, what an honor. And really, Anthony, first time that he's been an every down guy. He's been on the field a lot with Rob Tamburino the last few years, but now the feature guy, him being honored all conference. Dave Cower, first year starter, all conference, and then a guy like Ryan Montgomery, who's come back from injuries and battled, and now having a full season, being healthy, showing what he can do. 4 well-deserving guys, and certainly rounds out a really well-recognized football team here in these all-conference votes. I'm proud of all of our first team, second team, and honorable mention guys.
And 2 of the 3 defensive linemen, all 3 linebackers, and then 4 of the 5 secondary guys. And the 5th spot just had a mix and match of guys because of injuries this year.
Correct. So
They were the guys you maybe could have gotten another one there too. It's
absolutely
really cool to see. So the Wolverines are well recognized on the all PAC teams. Just recapping we mentioned that Dylan Sleeve of Westminster was the defensive MVP, leading tackler in the league. We know how good that Westminster defense is, and he's their leader. Quarterback Kellen Stahl of W&J, PAC offensive MVP. That wasn't much of a surprise. I can't think of that voting. The year he has had and the year that W&J has had. The newcomer of the year is freshman quarterback Quentin Good from Westminster, who we saw him late in the season, and no shock there. And then Coach of the Year Gino DeMarco, his final year, and the GTs are going to a bowl game at 6-4, and certainly probably twofold for him. They've had a great year, best year they've had in a number of years, and kind of a Lifetime Achievement Award for a guy who he's meant a lot to Geneva College, and Geneva College has meant a lot to him.
Yeah, and them 6-2 in the conference and going into the final week competing for a PAC title, and they completely changed their offense this year. I mean, it's not easy to go from a wing T and then you produce the nation's leading passer, I believe it is, in some categories, or at least at some point was. He just did an amazing job, and with a lot of change happening there this season. But like you said, really the body of work over his career, and just a man of faith. Something I just always admire. They have a slogan, more than conquerors, based off Romans 8, and just teaching guys that in everything you do, you're more than a conqueror. That you can overcome any of the challenges that life throws at you. I just love that message. I've always loved hearing about that theme surrounding their program, and and he's lived that out for a long time, and just it's going to be different not having Gino at media day, and just always been a leader for our coaches group, so he's been our head coaches rep as well. Just done a great job leading us in each of the meetings since I've been a part of this conference the last 10 years. So definitely going to miss Gino, but we'll know he'll still be around in some capacity. He said he can't hang it up yet, but I'll just say just very well-deserved and excited that he was recognized by the conference.
And I know he's a guy who has been a resource for other head coaches with a lot of non-football things over the years. I know that Mike Sirianni at W&J has spoken often about that when they've had some very unfortunate and sad things happen at W&J over the years, and Coach DeMarco has reached out to him. What can I do to help? This is and in this business we have standings. If somebody gets a W, somebody else is getting an L. I mean, and W&J and Geneva, I'm sure there's some competition in recruiting. They play every year. I mean, there's for him to be willing to help out his counterpart at a rival. I think it says a lot about him seeing the bigger picture than just what happens on Saturdays from 1 to 4 between the lines.
Yeah, it is. Anytime you're coaching, it is fraternity. You battle on the field, but you want to support each other, you want to encourage each other, and Gino's always been the model of that. I think he's definitely, we have a phrase in the program: if you're not intentional about something, you unintentionally do nothing. Essentially, just to drive home that mindset that you may have a thought to do something, but unless you're intentional and you're an intentional person, unintentionally it's just going to pass you by. Well, Gino's intentional, and I think that's what gets represented in those conversations with Mike or some of the things he shared, is just that if Gino has a heart to do something, he's going to go and do it, and just an intentional man, and that's why he's had such a great impact. That's a look at the all PAC teams announced Thursday night. Wolverines placing 14 players total on the first, second, and honorable mention teams. When we come back, we will talk about today's opponent, the Hanover Panthers, champions of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, back in the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. We will talk about Hanover when we come back after this quick timeout. This is the Andrew DiDonato Show, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and 1 associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
Valvoline Express, Karen Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Welcome back to the Andrew DiDonato Show here on the Wolverine Sports Network. Ryan Briggs here along with Grove City College head football coach Andrew DiDonato. Grove City and Hanover, the first round of the NCAA playoffs, essentially an 8-9 game, if you will. Winner will take on one of the top seeds in the tournament, North Central, next weekend over Thanksgiving weekend. Hanover coach 8-2 coming in, started out 0-2. Won the last 8, starting with a 24-23 win at Alma, who we talked about earlier, the Michigan champion, and then running roughshod through the HCAC. Obviously, this Hanover team, number one, if you can go to Alma and win, that says a lot. Number two, they've been taking names, so to speak, in the conference. This is a really good football team.
Yeah, very similar to us in a lot of ways. Obviously we started out 1-2. They started out 0-2. We both played really hard out of conference games, and for them to go 8 wins in a row isn't easy, as we've been trying to survive to get 7 wins in a row. So they're on a roll. They're playing their best football. That's clearly reflected. You mentioned that too, man. The win at Alma, just impressive. But really, how they dominated their league. We exchanged 3 films as you prepare for this, and they've completely dominated the last 3 weeks in all ways, and that shows up clearly in the film. So, they're a conference champion. We're traveling to their place. Certainly going to be a tough task, and that's what you expect in the NCAA playoffs.
When you put on the film and you watch them offensively, I guess we'll start offensively first. From an X and O standpoint, are they similar to anybody that the Wolverines have played this year?
Oh, man. They, I'll start with this. They have a receiver, number 8. Reminds me of Bright Cannon. And if you're familiar, when we prepared for that game, we said he could end up anywhere. I mean, Westminster would put Bright Cannon all over the field. Well, that's what this team does.
Brian Shelby.
Yeah, and he is as good of a player we've played all year. He will play at running back. He will play at slot receiver. He will play at outside receiver. They will motion him. They will motion him into the backfield, motion him out of the backfield. They have so many creative ways to get him the football. And they have a lot. They love to do trick plays. They'll do one, and 3 plays later they'll do another. I mean, they pose a lot of different challenges. Number one, with personnel, having an outstanding player that they're going to find so many ways to not allow you to take him away. And, they really do a really nice job trying to, not just trick plays, but do some things to try to take advantage of what you do defensively. So, and a really good quarterback. He can distribute the ball. He can get it to anybody. They'll spread you out. They'll go empty. They'll use 5 wide receivers. He has the ability to find the one who's open. Just really impressed, especially with number 8 and their quarterback. Just, very good, talented guys.
Brian Shelby, 59 catches this year, 913 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's also rushed the ball 8 times for 135 yards. That's an average of 17 per carry. He had a long of 58 in there, but obviously a guy that can do a lot of damage, averaging 12.5 yards on 8 punt returns as well. The quarterback, Ian Rowdybush, this year, 2,610 yards, 29 touchdowns, only 5 picks in 289 attempts. And the number that really stands out, completion percentage, 73.4. He completes 3/4 of his passes, which I don't care if we're throwing it from you to me here in the office. To be that accurate, that's saying a lot.
It is. He's good. He is. It's and that's what you expect. I mean, they're an explosive offense, and they want to throw the ball. They want to push it downfield, but yet they do it. They'll take what they give you. That's how you complete 73% of the time. I mean, if you're sitting back, you're taking things away, then he's going to find the open guys underneath, and just very calm in the pocket as well. So, definitely, very impressed with Ian.
Averaging as a team 456 yards and 41.7 points per game. Hanover in the first quarter this year outscoring teams 137-9, which is that's then if you go to extend it out, first half outscoring people 282-39. This team obviously gets off to fast starts.
Yes, and certainly we have to make sure that doesn't happen on Saturday.
Defensively, looking at the team, leading tackler is Brian Wall, who is a strong safety, 59 tackles this year. But kind of just going up and down the list here, there's a lot of guys who just made a lot of contributions. The leading sacker is Garen Jenkins, defensive end, 215-pounder with 6. And then Jet Massey, a tackle inside, 3.5 sacks. It seems like it's a defense where there's not maybe one guy that can hurt you, but there are a lot of guys that can hurt you on this Hanover defense.
Correct. No, there is. They very well balanced, very sound in what they do, well coached. I mean, their defense a little bit different than their offense. I think their offense is they're going to throw a ton of different formations at you, a ton of different looks, move guys all around, and then their defense is we're going to be sound and do what we do and be in position. So I think they complement each other well. But, they really sound in what they're trying to do responsibility-wise, even front. They're going to be in their gaps. They're going to try to – they add on. That's why you see a safety as a leading tackler. It's not that he's making tackles 10 yards downfield. He's coming on and adding on towards the line of scrimmage. So, very sound in what they do. But, defense, it's, they really just bank on just being disciplined and in position, and offensively just throw everything at you. And it's worked, and it's gone really well for them.
Defensively, is it kind of safe to say they're sort of like Case Western Reserve, other than it's a 4-3 instead of a 3-4?
Yeah, I would say that. They're going to be, pretty much where they're going to be positionally. They're just going to be very sound in what they do.
Special teams-wise, Clint Hearn, the kicker for the Hanover Panthers. He's a team's leading scorer this year. 5 field goals this year, has a long of 52. I don't need to see much more. He's obviously, you get a 52-yarder, you're a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, they get the ball, they get the ball definitely anywhere near the 30-yard line. They're going to try to expect to put it through the uprights and even further in some cases, as you just alluded to. And that's what I love about these games. Think about everything we've done special teams-wise, how excellent we've been. That's why we're in a position to be in the national playoffs. So are they. Our defense has been lights out. Well, so is their offense. I mean, you just think about these battles. And I think special teams is going to be a very interesting battle, too, where something's got to give. I mean, we pride ourselves on winning field position, but so do they when they have a great kicker, right? And we have a first-team kicker. So, very very good kicker, but I think he's a reflection of their special teams unit as a core, and that's going to be a fun game within the game to watch as it progresses.
And their punter, Nick Stoner, it's safe to say he's fresh. He's only had to punt 18 times all year, averaging 41.8, long of 73. He's forced 5 fair catches. A guy who, much like Hearn, a big leg and can be a weapon. Hopefully, we're seeing more of him than he's had been used a whole lot this year.
Yeah. Very good when he's gotten his few opportunities. But like I say, even just watching their punt block, their punt coverage, their punt return. I think very well coached, and Coach Brest, our special teams coordinator, our guys do a great job as well. It's going to be fun to see how that battle progresses throughout the game.
Coach, when you have these type situations, playoffs. 58-man roster limit. I know it's just kind of a standard question. It's a question I never get tired of asking. But how easy or not easy is it to get to 58? I'm sure that the spots, say 55, 56, 57, 58 are probably the toughest decisions?
Yeah, it is. To your original question, I would say yes and yes. It's easy and it's not. That may sound odd. But
it's a paradox.
It is. It's, we did travel up to Cortland week 1, and we took that mindset of a playoff type roster just to prepare for this. And we've been here the last few years. So that makes it easier as we've been in this spot the last couple years. My first year was a lot harder because I was like, I've never seen anything like this, right? But you know what you're trying to accomplish. First, you want to get your 2 deep on each side of the football. Make sure that, we always post a 2 deep each week, and we always start with that mindset of we got to have a 2 deep ready at every position. And then at certain positions, you need to have 3. The quarterback's the most obvious, right? Because you can't really just plug somebody in there. If you have a linebacker and you get down to your 3rd, you can always play someone down potentially, or move a DB like we've done Bowden Davidson, safety to corner. But a quarterback, you got to. So then you find what positions do we need 3 at, and then really after that, you're getting close to that 58. But then the final piece is, obviously all your starters on special teams are going. But you look at, who's been a key guy as maybe that next position that we need to have ready to go. So as you go through that order, it makes it a little easier knowing what you're trying to accomplish as you build to create this 58-man roster. And then, the NCAA allows us to take us a few others as well, and we want to make sure we're taking every senior. We want them being, an active part of, which, not the last game yet, hopefully, but I'm saying at some point in this tournament, right? So that's kind of the progression of not only who we determine as a part of the 58, but who's traveling at all. And, it took a little while back and forth, us strategizing as a staff, but we got to a place that, we're very confident and excited about the group we're taking to Hanover.
And I'm sure there are some certain skill sets that maybe would give a guy an edge. Just as an example, I mean, he would be going anyway, but Sam Penna, who starts at receiver, he's also a backup holder. Daniel Sullivan, starting receiver, but he would be your emergency kicker and punter, right?
Correct. And Cam Epps is a good example. Obviously, he's our starting returner, but he also gives us depth at wide receiver, for example. So when you're looking at that, or Derek Lambert's our long snapper, but he also gives you depth at wide receiver. So when you look at that, it really does help your positional depth. So you think about receiver is a good example of it. Well, there may be certain games where you're in 10 personnel, which means 4 wide receivers. Well, you want to have a 2 deep, so you want to take 8 wide receivers. But here, our kick returner and long snapper also can be part of that 8 at receiver. So that makes that easier. So to your point, those guys who are versatile really take some pressure off being worried about getting stuck in a bad spot if you face some injuries.
Or even, I'm sure, maybe too, if you have an extra offensive lineman who can play center, be a third center, if you will, that's probably a spot where you'd want to go 3 deep as well, right?
Correct. That's the other one, exactly. So that's where, we took 3 at, because you can't just play anyone at center. You can always maybe have a guard rep tackle rep guard, DN rep nose rep D tackle, but center's a different animal. So exactly, that's another position where we wanted to make sure we had 3 going.
The Wolverines taking on Hanover, first ever meeting. Wolverines making their first trip out to Indiana in a dozen years. Last time, Wolverines won at Anderson, who's a member of Hanover's conference. Coach, what do the Wolverines need to do to go to Hanover, get a win, and get to practice on Thanksgiving and prepare for a trip to North Central?
We talk about our vision, and it comes down to a lot of the key principles that we've talked about throughout the course of this season. Number 1, we're going to have to run the football and control the line of scrimmage and win time of possession. That's Grove City football. That's our way. We got to run the ball, and then we have to make and capitalize on some big throws down the field. If we're going to win this game, you got to run it, but then you got to make them pay and hit some big passes down the field. So that's what we got to do offensively. Defensively, I know they like to throw it, but number 1, let's completely take the run game out of the question, and that's what we do well, and that's what we need to do. And then limit the big play, especially when you got a team who likes trick plays, putting it down the field. You cannot let them get any explosive plays. They're going to get some completions. You have a great quarterback; he completes 73%, but they just can't be down the field. And then against really 2 great special teams units, win field position, and if there's a big impact play on special teams, it has to happen for Grove City's favor. So 6 total things: run the football, hit the big play in the pass when it comes, take away the run, limit their explosive play, win field position, and let the impact play on special teams be ours.
Coach, always a pleasure. We appreciate your time. My schedule's wide open next week. Let's do this again next week.
I love it. I'm all for it.
You've been listening to the Andrew DiDonato Show here on the Wolverine Sports Network. When we come back, we'll have the call from Hanover, Indiana, the first round of the NCAA Tournament. It's Grove City and Hanover, and it comes up next on the home of the Wolverines.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and one associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
From C. Wayne Perry Field in Hanover, Indiana, the Wolverine Sports Network presents the NCAA Division III football playoffs opening round action between the Grove City College Wolverines and the Hanover College Panthers. Mark Means, Ryan Briggs, and Ryan, it's a beautiful day for a playoff game.
It certainly is, Mark. Of course, they had some rain that moved through this entire region, raining back home as well. A beautiful day. The sun has broken through. Temperature around 50. This is picture-perfect playoff weather. Very intriguing matchup today. It's, when you think about, NCAA tournament, the big dance, if you will, March Madness, they talk about 8-9 games and so forth. This is one of those in terms of the bracketing and in terms of the matchup. Very even. You have a Hanover team that, as we talked with Coach DiDonato, really likes to throw the ball all over the place. Grove City more of a, grind-it-out type of team. You have the contrast in styles. Two teams that really have not had really no intersection in terms of whether it be common opponents, let alone playing each other. There's always the mystique of that. Hanover, an edge being at home, certainly. But first home playoff game in 23 years for Grove City. Third straight year in the postseason. The Wolverines a decided edge in postseason experience. Hanover the edge. They slept in their own beds last night. So a lot to look at here. You look who has an edge here, who has an edge here. You line it all up. This is the classic toss-up game. Excited to see this Grove City defense come out first, and excited to see a guy back in uniform today, Ben Bladel. Of course, he was injured in the Westminster game a month ago, missed the St. Vincent game, missed Case Western, missed the finale at Hiram last week. He got cleared Thursday by the doctor, practiced Thursday night. He's dressed. We don't know how much he'll play, but the fact that number 5 is out there in uniform, even if he's 70%, that's still a heck of a football player and something that Hanover will have to contend with. But Hanover's going to get the ball, Mark. The Panthers won the toss, elected to receive. So we'll see the Hanover offense, this high-flying unit first. And to tell you all about it, the man who's called every Grove City College football playoff game, Mark Means.
And we are ready to get this one underway. As Ryan mentioned, the Panthers won the toss. They've elected to receive. That means all PAC first-team kicker Brady Lane, as a freshman, is about to get things going for the Wolverines this afternoon. The Panthers will go left to right on a 45-degree, partly cloudy afternoon here in Hanover, Indiana. The Panthers are 8-2, champions of the Heartland Conference. They are averaging about 42 points per game, surrendering at 12.6. We'll tell you a lot about their tendencies as we go throughout this broadcast.
Of course, a great first-half team, as we talked with Coach in the pregame.
Lane with the ball teed up. 2-man back deep for the Panthers at their 5-yard line. And we are underway in the opening round of the NCAA Division III playoffs with a deep kick by Brady Lane that is out of the back of the end zone for another touchback.
I think he's ready to go. But Brady Lane, he had the 6 touchbacks last week at Hiram, and again, the wind that is here is light and not really favoring either side, left or right. But what a charge he put into that one, and it'll be the Hanover Panthers taking over 1st and 10, and will be Ben Bladel starting at linebacker for Grove City, starting in place of the other Moon grad, Nick Clemens.
Rada Bush, the quarterback. Don Dunning gets to start at tailback.
Dunning's been out too, so a big addition back in the Hanover lineup.
Going to put 2 to the right, 1 to the left, a wing to the left side. Now that wing goes in motion towards the right and settles in the slot. Rodebush to throw it on first down. That pass is going to be caught across the 30 and down to the 34-yard line. That's Shelby, the junior wide receiver out of Indianapolis, with a reception for the Panthers.
And Hanover, they are up-tempo. It's go, go, go. So Color Man's going to have to be efficient with his words today.
Twins the east side, Rodebush and Dunning in the backfield on a 2nd down and 1. Man goes in motion. They are going to give it to Dunning, trying to get to the outside. Noah Wheeler there to make the stop, but they get 2 yards, and that'll move the chains for the first down.
They're running to the short side of the field. Wheeler, a good job in run support, but again, this is a Hanover team, loves to throw the ball. They use the run more or less just to keep you honest. And Dunning, want to get him involved early as well, first game back, and he gets it across the 35 to the 36. A short gain, but enough to move the chains.
Empty backfield for Rodebush, the quarterback. Trips to the right, single receive, 2 receivers to the left side. Now they put a man in motion. Rodebush takes the snap, looks to throw, dumps it into the flat. Noah Wheeler's there for the big hit right after the catch by Jack Pennington. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers.
When the receiver motioned from right to left, Wheeler sort of moved towards the hash mark, and then the near side receiver came back into the flat. Wheeler read it perfectly, drilled him, picture-perfect tackle. Pennington picked up 2, and he paid for it.
2nd down and 8, opening drive for the Panthers, left to right. Rodebush to throw it. That ball floats out to the receiver who makes a catch. He's across midfield and down near the 46-yard line. That is Shelby on the reception, his 2nd catch on this opening drive.
For Brian Shelby, he is the home run hitter for this Hanover offense. They'll use him in a variety of ways. We heard the comparison to Bright Cannon from Westminster in terms of a guy that running, receiving, returning. Shelby is that guy, and already targeted twice, 2 catches on the drive, 1 for a first down and the other one for 9.
Going to put a man in motion. They are going to give it to the running back who broke through the first wave of tackles and was dropped shy of the 45-yard line. Going to be no gain on that play as Jack Jolly is there to make the stop.
Yeah, the fake the jet sweep that time to Shelby going from right to left, and the delay going back to Dunning. But as you said, Jolly right there along with Jordan Karcheski. Ben Bladel shot the gap, actually overran the play, and the Wolverine defense bringing down the ball carrier for no gain.
2nd down and 10. Rodebush on the play action, stands in the pocket. He's going to check it down to his running back who makes the catch for a 1-yard gain. That's Don Dunning with the reception. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long for the Panthers.
Mason Klaus, 2nd team All-PAC performer out of Red Bank Valley, coming from that slot corner spot to make the tackle. Wholesale changes for Hanover. Look like a hockey team getting new lines out there.
Trips to the right, single receiver left side. Rodebush out of the pistol formation. Wolverines showing blitz. They'll turn, check with the sidelines. Play clock now down under 15 seconds.
Nick Clemens in as a pass rush specialist, the role he had for much of the season.
Rodebush claps. He'll drop to throw. Stands in the pocket, steps up after feeling some pressure. Looking downfield, trying to throw on the run. And he's going to break a tackle, get downfield across the 25. He tight-roped the sidelines and was able to pick up the first down.
Wolverines had 2 cracks at him in the backfield. He got away from both, and then the defender had the angle on him. Rodebush simply outran the angle, and instead of it being a punt situation, the scramble takes it down to the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 23, and Hanover has a first down at the 22-yard line.
11-10 to play in this opening quarter, no score. Single receivers each side are going to go with a wing to the right side. Receiver will go in motion. Rodebush going to keep the football, and he's going to work his way down near the 15-yard line. One of their top rushers, just over 300 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns for the quarterback.
Yeah, and we've seen already his ability to scramble, get out of the pocket, and then that time running between the tackles on the zone read. The Wolverine, the inside linebacker, he was about half a gap over, if you will, and that allowed Rodebush to cut up inside. Instead of being maybe a 2-yard gain, he gets 6, almost 7.
Receiver in motion from right to left side. Now they're going to turn, give him the football, and he's going to get to the 15-yard line before being driven back. That's Nation on the carry, the sophomore running back who was split out as a wide receiver.
Ryan Montgomery from his safety spot in to make the tackle. Very short gain, now 3rd and 2. If the Wolverines can get off the field here, force a field goal, that would be a win after Hanover's put together a nice opening drive.
3rd and 5 from the 15. Panthers will go trips to the right side, single receiver between the hash and the numbers to the left. That is going to be a Nation in the backfield. Man in motion now circles behind the quarterback and heads to the left side. Rotabush to throw. Bladel there with pressure, and that pass falls incomplete at the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 3 for the Panthers, and decision time for the coaching staff.
The field goal team started to come out, and then they stopped. So 4th down, and you wonder if maybe here, keep an eye on some shifting, some motioning, trying to get Grove City to jump off sides, but Rotabush errant on that throw, so 4th down. The offense will stay out there. Head coach Matt Theobald, an aggressive play call here in this opening drive.
Split 2 receivers to the left. They stack 2 to the right. Now put a man in motion, and he'll go slot to the left side. Now they're going to empty the backfield as Shelby splits out to the right side. Rotabush to throw. Going to go underneath. Nobody home. The pass falls incomplete. It was tipped and incomplete, and a turnover on downs, and the Wolverines have held on 4th down.
I know it's in vogue in football today to be aggressive, go for it on 4th down, but in a game that has the feel that it's going to be a tight, evenly played game, to have a nice drive like that and be in field goal range. And you have a great kicker. The guy kicked a 52-yarder this year, so certainly in his range. So to not take the points, a gamble by Hanover and the Grove City defense makes them pay.
That was the 20th time they've gone forward on 4th down. The Panthers now 12 for 20 as a team converting 4th down. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side. Rankin is the tailback with the senior Ethan Wiley out of Mercer. He'll throw it on 1st down, firing downfield, and that pass is going to be caught down near the 20-yard line. That's going to be caught by Sullivan for a 5-yard gain.
And interesting, Hanover, who generally plays at 4-2-5 defense, 4-3 all year, what do they come out in? An odd front. It's like the old, almost like an old Oklahoma 5-man front that's 3 down linemen, and then the linebackers are both, the outside backers are both up on the end, giving like a 5-man front look, and Wolverines seen that, and they get 5 on the pass out to number 5, Sullivan.
Split backs in the backfield. That looks like that's Miller and Rankin in the backfield with Ethan Wiley on 2nd and 5 from the 20. They're going to run this ball with Miller, and Miller is going to get across the 20, and he's going to be down to about the 23-yard line. This will set up a 3rd down and short for the Wolverines.
New wrinkle by the Wolverines there, using the backs in that offset position, and new look, but Hanover was ready for it. A modest gain, but 3rd and short for the Wolverines. Grove City, a team, of course, that is quite comfortable in 3rd and short.
3rd down and 2 for the Wolverines from their 23-yard line. Right to left here in the opening quarter. 8:20 to play. We have no score. Wiley takes the snap. He's going to run the ball with Ian Demary. Demary spinning off the tackle, twisting his way forward, and he will have the Wolverine 1st down.
Demary going off that right side as Wolverines had the extra lineman in there. Ian Quinn, they'll stay in that offensive package. Lucas Lohman in as a fullback. Junior out of Chambersburg. Played a lot last week in the second half against Hiram. He certainly has some thump. He was helping lead the way. It's 1st down for the Wolverines out to the 27. Good, tough inside running from Demary.
7:45, clock rolling in the opening quarter. Got everyone in tight on the formation. High snap. They are going to run it on 1st down with Demary. And no running room that time for Ian Demary. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. It's 2nd and long. Wolverines going to come right back to the line of scrimmage. Play clock now just at 26 seconds. 1 receiver going to the right, 2 to the left side. Wiley looking towards the far sidelines for the play call. Great crowd filing in, making the trip from Grove City for this game here today in Hanover, Indiana. They will run it on 2nd down, and that time it's Chase Rankin who's upended after he gets The lost yardage +1. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, it looked like there was something there opening up, but then cut down by the lineman, just got him down low and upended him. So 3rd down, Wolverines will go to the 4-receiver package for the first time. Breck Peacock, good to see Breck back in the lineup. Missed the last couple of weeks due to injury. He'll line up as the 3rd of 3 on the near side.
So 1 to the right, trips to the left side. Rankin's the tailback. Wiley to throw it. Has time. Takes the shot from McGroarty. Came back to the football. And they are going to call that a good catch for Seth McGroarty as he tight ropes the sideline right in front of the Panther bench for the Wolverine 1st down.
That is not an easy throw. Wiley from the far hash to the near sideline. Put it up there where only his guy could get it. McGroarty, it was a great throw, an even better catch out to the 47. Pick up enough for the 1st down. Wolverines are approaching midfield, but that Wiley and McGroarty combo, we saw it last year kind of in relief. They are in sync here so far in this opening drive for the Wolverines.
Single receivers to each side. Fullback in the backfield. High snap. They're going to run it with Demiri. Stepped through a couple of tackles and was able to get a couple of yards on that carry. Check that. That's Shepard Miller, 21 on the carry for a 2-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 8.
So 3 different ball carriers already today for Grove City. Rankin and Miller both in there right now. And, of course, Demary doing the short yardage work.
2nd and 8 from the Grove City 49-yard line. Movement up front. Wiley to throw. Going to take a shot. Going to look downfield for Sullivan. One-on-one. And Sullivan couldn't quite hold on at the last second at the 5-yard line. It's knocked away, incomplete, but our first flag of the day.
And Hanover in the neutral zone. Wiley knew it, took a shot for Daniel Sullivan, who's really emerged as a big play guy.
That's Trey Bell, the junior defensive tackle.
And we can hear the wind in the referee's microphone down there. The flags on the goalposts are not really moving a whole lot, but obviously a situation much like at Case 2 weeks ago, where what's happening on the field is much different than what the the flags and so forth would indicate.
We'll shuffle the offensive line. Again, the offset backs in the backfield with Wiley, the senior quarterback. Wiley takes the snap, gives it to Rankin, who cut to the right now, back between the hashes. And Rankin got close to the 1st down marker.
And he got there. They say move it. So he wasn't there long. So he was hit by the linebacker and driven back, but forward progress. The Hanover defense looking like, hey, we stopped him. And he did get there, not for long, but long enough. And the head linesman, or excuse me, it'd be the line judge on the far side. Head linesman's on this side in the first half. But it is a 1st down. The Wolverines staying with this. Essentially, it's a 3-back attack. The backs, they're on either side of Wiley. It's almost like a bit of a wishbone look with Brunette, who is the fullback, and up back. He's right behind this in that center guard gap. But it looks like a wishbone.
Receivers to each side. Wiley to throw it. Drops to midfield. Got to go down the seam for McGroarty. One-hand catch. McGroarty lost the football as he was coming towards the goal line. It's picked up and run back by the Panthers across the 20 to the 25. Still on his feet, cutting back to the 30. And down near the 35-yard line, the defensive back reached back from behind and knocked the ball loose from Seth McGroarty, and they picked it up and brought it back for good field position for the Panthers.
And McGroarty made the one-handed catch. He was heading downfield, and it looked like he just never, he had it, but then really never had it fully, if you will. I mean, he had it, certainly was a catch, nothing like that. Just then the defensive back did not give up on the play, knocked it loose to prevent the touchdown, or at worst for Hanover, 1st and goal. And then not only that, but then a nice run back out to the 37-yard line. So Hanover, a big defensive play, the first takeaway of the game, and to each team with an opportunity going by the wayside. Of course, Hanover turning it over on downs in Grove City territory, and now the Wolverines fumbling near the goal line.
Trips to the right, single receiver left side. Now they'll empty the backfield. Rautenbush to throw it. Has time. Now he'll come across the middle, and that pass is squeezed in there across the 45, and that is going to be close to the 1st down marker, as he just found a little bit of room to squeeze that football in.
Yeah, finding Shelby again off his back foot under pressure from Jordan Karcheski. threw off his back foot, kind of dropped to 3/4 and threw a dart downfield from the near numbers to the middle of the field. You have to have some serious arm strength, and he showed it there.
1st and 10 from the Panther 47-yard line. Receiver and a wing to the left, 2 receivers to the right side. Dunning now moves to the right of Rautenbush, who looks to throw. Fires downfield, that pass caught across the 40 and down near the 38-yard line. That's DJ Grinter, the sophomore receiver out of Louisville, on the reception.
Well, Rautenbush, what an arm. I mean, he has a gun. And that time he's able to step into it. We saw what he could do off balance. That time he was able to step into it and gun it downfield for the first down.
1st and 10 from the Wolverine 38-yard line. Going to put a man in motion. That is Shelby from right to left. Rautenbush deep drop to throw. Looks downfield. That's Shelby who makes the catch and is going to be bumped out of bounds shy of that first down marker. This offense uses a lot of motion.
A lot of motion. It's not just left to right guys going into the backfield, out of the backfield, zigzag, if you will, and really it makes it the defense has to think, and also it helps the quarterback get an idea. Okay, what coverage are we looking at? Is it man? Is it zone? Kind of the game within the game, and the Hanover with Rautenbush, a veteran guy back there. We talk about his physical gifts. He's also a sharp cookie back there.
Johnson in motion. They are going to run the ball with Dunning. And Dunning is going to be pulled down from behind by the junior Dave Cower, but that will be enough to move the sticks for the Panthers.
Yeah, Dunning, kind of a slow-developing outside zone play, but found a little bit of a crease and gets upfield. Cower, good pursuit to bring him down, but Hanover records the first down, the 6th first down of this first quarter for the Panthers.
Down to a minute 45 on this fast-moving first quarter clock. Man in motion. Rautenbush is going to give it to that motion man who cut down the sidelines and was able to dive down near the 15-yard line. That's Nation on the carry, the sophomore, who does a little bit of everything in this offense for the Panthers.
And what we're seeing from Hanover's, they're looking, getting outside, outside the tackles. You're thinking even, outside of where a tight end or a slot receiver. These are wide zone running plays, whether it's to the running back or to the receivers on the jet sweeps, looking to get outside and get Grove City outflanked on the edge.
Josh Williams now in at the tailback spot. Rautenbush is going to take the snap. He's going to follow Williams to the short side and ran right into Brubaker and was driven back as he got down to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, straight quarterback run there. In the old days, it was quarterback sweep. In this case, it was zone blocking. All the linemen are kind of stepping to the right, and he's just running outside looking for a seam. He found a seam, but then that seam was evaporated by Caleb Brubaker, who put a good solid hit on him, but it is a first down to the 15. Hanover back into the red zone.
We are down to the final 30 seconds of this fast-moving opening quarter. Panthers going to go trips to the left side. Got a wing to that side as well. Play clock down to 3 seconds. And it looks like the Panthers want to take a timeout. We've got 16 seconds to play in the opening quarter. No score between the Wolverines and the Panthers. You are listening to the Wolverines Sports Network.
My name is Jim. I'm a veteran, and I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
"16 seconds remaining on this first quarter clock. That our first stoppage in the play.
Yeah, nobody's getting paid by the hour today.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. One receiver far outside on the numbers to the left. Going to stack a couple inside on the line to the right side. Play clock now down to under 10 seconds. They're going to run it, trying to sweep to that short side with the football. That's Josh Williams, and that read well by the Wolverine defense, using that boundary as an extra defender.
Yeah, good pursuit by the Wolverines, flowing to the football. So very fast defense. All 11 guys can run, and they will now have to go to the other end of the field as we reach the end of the first quarter.
We are through one quarter here from Hanover, Indiana. It is Grove City 0, Hanover 0. Back with quarter number 2 after this on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and 1 associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
We flip ends of the field as we get set to start the second quarter. Second at 5, facing the Panthers in a scoreless game of through 1 as they are on the Grove City 10-yard line. We put a receiver out to each side, a wing to the right side. Receiver right side goes in motion behind the backfield. Rautenbush to throw it. Goes underneath to his running back who makes the catch right near that first down marker. And it's going to be first and goal for the Panthers from the 5-yard line.
Dunning sliding out of the backfield into the right flat. And one of the things that has been evident in this first quarter plus 1 play, Grove City's not getting a lot of pressure on Rautenbush. And the one time they did get after him, he was able to escape. If he's able to sit back there, he can put up some pretty impressive numbers.
Receiver tight to the line to the right. Now they put a man in motion. Rautenbush going to try and follow him, and he's going to look for the goal line, and Rautenbush into the end zone, and that'll be his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Panthers get the early lead.
Yeah, Rautenbush doing it with his arm and his legs, and nothing fancy about that. And when you have the quarterback running, it gives you an extra blocker. They motion the tight end to that side, and essentially it's you get a hat on a hat. Rautenbush takes it in, and Hanover's taking the lead.
So they will come on to attempt the extra point. Clint Hearn, the sophomore kicker, 46 of 49. Low snap that they get it down, and the extra point is up, and it is good. So with 14:22 to play in our first half, the first points of the afternoon go up on the board for the Hanover Panthers. And the extra point gives them a 7-0 lead as they convert the turnover into a touchdown for the Panthers.
Yeah, when it looked like Grove City was going to take the lead, McGroarty stripped shy of the goal line, and then obviously that's key, the fumble itself, but then the recovery and return out past the 30-yard line. If Hanover, let's say they fall on it back at the 2 or 3 yard line, yeah, they're excited to get a stop, to get the ball, but you can't be freewheeling back there. But instead of taking over out past the 30-yard line at the 35, after the run back, then you're in good field position, and Hanover able to take it in for the opening score of today's game.
So it'll be Rankin and Epps back to return this kick for the Wolverines. Standing at their 5-yard line. 2 of the premier kickers this year in Division III also facing off within this game.
Yeah, of course, Brady Lane for Grove City, first team All-PAC. He kicked off into the end zone for a touchback. We'll see what we see from the Hanover kicker here.
Hearn's high kick. That is going to be Epps at the 9, across the 10, 15, outside 20, 25. Should bounce into the outside to the 30. Then upended at the 31-yard line. The speed from Epps giving the Wolverines some good field position.
Yeah, good run back. Normally I always say you want to stay north and south, and he did for most of it. But then saw he had some daylight out there and out across the 30 to the 31. Good run back from Cam Epps, who's had a very nice year. Caught a touchdown pass in the second half at Hiram last week. And here in the return game, out to the 31-yard line.
First and 10 for the Wolverines. left to right here in the second quarter. .15 to play in the half. This time a single back behind Wiley, who will look to throw. Wiley pressured, and Wiley's going to be sacked back near the 22-yard line. The defender broke free and was able to get the sack. That's Jet Massey, the senior, now 6.5 sacks on the year.
Yeah, he came through pretty much untouched, a blown blocking assignment, which we've not seen a lot of those from the Wolverines over the second half of the season, but Ethan Wiley never had a chance and ends up getting dumped for the loss by Massey, who's had, as you said, a very fine year. Good run stuffer as well, but he's known for his ability to get to the quarterback from that tackle position.
Wiley takes the snap, drops the throw. Going to fire the deep out for Sullivan. And that pass falls incomplete, 5-on-5, and looked like a little bit of contact with the ball in the air, but not enough to draw a flag.
Kane Powell-Smith, the cornerback on the near side, it was close. I had the same. I saw it the same way you did, Mark. He might have been there a hair early. The official right there ruled it okay, and it certainly was a. If it was an interference, it was certainly not blatant. And it was close, good coverage. Now 3rd and long for the Wolverines.
3rd and 11. Wiley to throw. Standing tall in the pocket. Going to take a shot down the seam for Sullivan. And that pass over his head and incomplete. And this will be a quick 3-and-out for the Wolverine offense.
And, the 3-and-out, what we've seen, the Wolverines, I think the Wolverines can get behind this defense. We saw it on the McGroarty catch. Sullivan was open. Just the pass took off a little bit. But now Hanover, the offense going right back out there after a 4.5-minute touchdown drive. Grove City to 3-and-out, and Brady Lane to punt.
Lane averaging 36.4 a kick with a long of 60 on the season. Snap shoulder high, rushes on. Lane gets away a high, spiraling kick. Fair catch called for and made by the Panthers at their 39-yard line. The other PAC team in the Division III playoffs, that is Washington and Jefferson. They are tied at 7 with Susquehanna. About 6 minutes to play in the opening quarter.
What happened the last time Susquehanna played a PAC team? Do you remember, Mark?
I don't think it went well for them.
It did not. Of course, Grove City winning there 2 years ago, 21-20 in the first round. That was a matchup of 10-0 teams.
So the Panthers have the football back at their 39-yard line. 13:21 to play in this first half. Hanover with a 7-0 lead. Single receiver to the right, wing to the right, 2 receivers to the left. That wingman goes in motion. They're going to fake the pitch, try to set up the screen. That pass is caught, and the Wolverine defense there to make the play, as there were 3 or 4 red and white jerseys led by Mason Klaus on the stop.
Yeah, Brian Shelby catching the screen, but as you said, Klaus, who's been shadowing him, he was there. Kellen Taylor coming over also. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10 as we see Danny Franco checking in for Nick Clemens. Clemens was rolled up on a little bit on that last play. Franco's played a lot of football for the Wolverines.
Stack 2 receivers to each side. Now they'll move that 1 receiver in motion. Routed Bush to throw. Pressured from the backside. Able to avoid the rush and roll to the right side. Throwing on the run. Ball popped in the air and incomplete. That's Montgomery on the coverage at midfield. And it's 3rd down and 10.
Jack Jolly had his hands on him. Just couldn't quite get him down. Routed Bush, we talk about that. We've talked about all of his physical ability, but slippery as well. Able to get away from Jack Jolly. How many times do you see that happen? Not often, but a good job. Montgomery in man coverage, able to use that inside arm like a basketball defender. I know Chris Birch loves this analogy, to deflect it away and putting Hanover in 3rd and 10.
Twins to each side. Single back with Rautenbush in the backfield. And now we've got our penalty flag thrown.
Flags and lots of pointing. Hanover guys said Grove City jumped because 2 of them moved, but we'll see what the officials get together, and did they see the same thing? And they'll say Dave Cower is why they moved. So 5-yard mark off. Now 3rd and 10 becomes 3rd and 5.
First penalty of the afternoon on the Wolverines. 12:31 to play here in the first half.
Hanover 1 of 2 on 3rd down today. That was on the opening drive.
Gonna stack two receivers to the right side, split one outside to the left. Now they have an official stoppage for a moment.
Mr. Official, the play clock is apparently not working right now. They are currently working to fix it.
The play clock's not working.
Do you want to do it on the field or? We'll take it on the field. Turn them off while you work on them. Yes, sir.
So we have the referee and the PA announcer talking to each other. The play clocks are not working, so they've turned them off for now. The back judge will now be responsible for that. Like we still see that some Friday nights still in high school games. So back judge is he's showing what his mechanics will be. 3rd and 5. Those are the numbers that are most notable right now.
Going to put a man in motion from right to left. Rautenbush claps, takes the snap. Pressured, going to go underneath. Receiver made the catch and was able to tightrope up the sideline. Somehow stayed in bounds, got across midfield. And that is a first down for the Panthers.
They go back to Shelby, and he comes through again on 3rd down. Gets 7, almost 8 on the 3rd down completion. Grove City had a shot at him on the near side, but he was able to elude him. And then, as you said, tightroping the sideline. He used every bit of the 53 1/3 yards here on the near side. And it'll be first down just past midfield. And the play clocks seem to be working right well. I don't know. Keep changing 40 to 25.
Three receivers to the right. They are going to give it to the back who tries to cut up the middle between the hashes and the freshman Josh Williams. And he will have no gain. It will set up a 2nd down and 10 from the Grove City 48-yard line.
Grove City, the front three, it's the starters. Taylor at nose, the ends are Karcheski and Cower. Jolly, Brubaker, and Danny Franco in at linebacker. Ben Bladel started. He's over on the sideline right now. He's holding his helmet. Nick Clemens is on the far side standing. So the Wolverines going with a little bit different alignment in that front 6.
Receiver goes in motion from right to left. Rautenbush to throw. Twist the hips. Going to take the shot downfield. One-on-one with Bowden Davidson and not able to finish the catch. As Bowden Davidson there to knock the football loose and incomplete. And it's 3rd down and 10.
Looking for Jack Pennington, the sophomore from Seymour, Indiana. Hometown of John Mellencamp, by the way. And Bowden made that one hurt so good, knocking it away. It'll be 3rd and 10.
I kind of had a feeling that was coming. 3rd and 10 from the 48-yard line. 11:04 to play here in the first half. A 7-0 lead for the Hanover Panthers.
That was a little improvisation, by the way.
Two receivers go to the right, two to the left.
Can't let Rautenbush improvise here.
Dunning going to move to the right side. Play clock under 10 seconds. He'll drop the throw. Going to fire downfield, and Noah Wheeler there to knock the ball away, and a late flag from behind the play comes in.
He was early, looking to get it to DJ Grinter, and Wheeler was a half step early. Hit him right between the shoulder blades before the ball got there. The side judge on the near side, the flag came out, and it's going to be a spot foul and a first down. Hanover fans like it. Grove City fans don't. Hard to argue it, though. He broke on it well, but got there just a little bit early, and instead of 4th down, it is a new set of downs for Hanover. 10th first down of the day for the Panthers. One thing, too, is Hanover's, they started with, they have a decided edge in time of possession, offensive plays. Something to keep an eye on as this game goes on.
Dunning moves in motion into the backfield. They will give it on the reverse to the receiver who came behind the play. And spinning forward for the first down. That's Brian Shelby. Another player they like to get as many touches as they can in different ways.
Yeah, fake the running back left, hand it back to him going to the right. Reverse end around, flanker around, whatever you want to call it. And he's been a handful, already 6 catches today, and now on that run to the 25, a gain of 11 and a first down for Hanover. This drive continues.
Ball at the Grove City 25. Stack receivers to the right and left. Now the left receiver comes in motion into the backfield. They're going to run the football, trying to sweep to that outside, and the Wolverine defense there to stop him about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. As that was Nation on the carry, and Wolverines have been able to keep him bottled up on that play.
Good job by Bowden Davidson, who plays the field corner position. He's on the wide side of the field. Came up in run support, put a solid hit. Danny Franco finished him off. But the Grove City corners, Davidson and Wheeler, they both do a really good job in the run game. And, maybe that's not priority one for a cornerback. You still have to be able to do it. And those two young men have done it very well all season. We've seen it a lot from Bowden. Now Hanover is going to have to take its second time out of the first half.
Second down and 11 coming up for the Panthers. 9:38 to play in this first half. It is Hanover 7 and Grove City 0. Back after a quick timeout on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Off the Panther timeout, they're facing a second down and 11. Going to put the receiver in motion. Rautenbush to throw. Standing at his 35-yard line. Going to try and flip the ball downfield. And that pass is going to be caught. He held on to it. And that reception is for Scotty Johnson, the tight end. And it's going to be first and goal for the Panthers.
Keegan Frazier all over him. Tried to knock it loose, but Johnson able to keep those big mitts on it. First down at the 14-yard line. But again, Rautenbush had all day. The offensive line for Hanover has done an excellent job in pass protection. And Grove City's done a good job covering the receivers, but Wolverines have to get pressure on Rautenbush, and they have not done that this afternoon yet.
Two receivers to each side of the formation. Rautenbush to throw. Standing in the pocket. Now he'll roll to the right side. Looking downfield and just flip this one out of bounds and incomplete. And bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 14.
Again, Rautenbush having all day. He was flushed out of there, and then Danny Franco charging late, getting after him. But again, the offensive line for Hanover, that's been the story so far. Why does Hanover have the lead? Certainly Shelby's made some big plays. Rautenbush has been great, but he has had the ability to be great thanks to the front five.
Rautenbush has already thrown it 16 times here in the first half. Second down and 10 from the 14-yard line. He'll take the snap. He's going to give it to the running back. That's Dunning. And Dunning able to push the pile forward down to about the 12-yard line, setting up third down for the Panthers.
Again, I think one of those keep you honest run plays. And, of course, Rautenbush always has the option to pull it as well. On a zone read, he had a big gainer back in the first quarter on one of those. Now, 3rd and 8, again, ball in the far hash. I'd be surprised to see Rautenbush working to the far side. Even though it's the short side, he's right-handed, and you have 3 receivers over there.
5 players have already carried the football for the Panthers. They came in with 6 different backs with 130 yards rushing or more. Fading as he lobs this one towards the far sideline, facing some pressure that time by the Wolverine linebacking core, and it's going to bring up a third down and 8. 4th down and 8.
And Caleb Brubaker finally getting through, getting some pressure, and when you get pressure on him, an errant throw, and it will be field goal attempt 29 yards from the far hash for the left-footed kicker, Hearn.
Hearn, 5 of 7 on the year with a long of 52. So they'll put the knee down at the 19, a 29-yard attempt. Snap a little low. The hold is good, and the line drive kick is up and good. 7:53 to play here in the first half, and the Panthers tack on a 3 to their lead. Thanks to the 29-yard field goal by Hearn, it's now Hanover 10, Grove City 0. You're listening to the Wolverine Sports Network.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
$7:53 to play in the half. Hanover with the 10-0 lead. Grove City set to get their hands back on the football as the sun continuing to fight its way through the clouds here this afternoon. So Hearn will approach the football. High, short kick. Running up on it across the 20, Epps across the 25, 30, with blockers across the 35 and down near the 37-yard line. And Epps able to turn that short kick into a good return. And he lost his helmet in the process.
So he'll be out for one play, although he probably would not have been out there anyway, but the headgear came off at the end there, and the kick by Jonathan Talley, the kickoff specialist. I'm a little surprised that they, unless he just didn't catch that one flush, but good field position for the Wolverines out at the 37-yard line.
7:46 to play here, first half. Wolverines have the ball on their own 36-yard line. They're going to run the ball with Rankin. Rankin following the blockers across the 40 and down to the 41-yard line. Good first down run by the Wolverines.
And that's what the Wolverines need. Get a first down or two. Let the defense regroup. The time of possession in the first half is lopsided. 15.5 minutes for Hanover, 6:47. Plays are 31-13. Let the defense regroup. If you get down here, get some first downs, get some points on the board because you get the ball starting the second half as well. But this is where the Wolverines need a classic Grove City drive.
Sullivan, the receiver, out to the right side. Wiley takes the snap, gives it to Rankin, running to the short side, and Rankin is across the 45 and down to the 46-yard line, and that's going to move the chains for the Wolverines.
Good second effort by Rankin. Looked like he'd be a yard or two short, but able to fight forward to the 47, and first down for Grove City. Now they go back to the two-back set with Shepard Miller back in. And the play clock is off again. So I'll have to sit here and go 1001, 1002.
6:30 to go here in this first half. First and 10 for the Wolverines. They will run the football with Miller. Miller tried to bounce it off the pile. Good, strong run by the freshman across the 50 and down to the 49-yard line. Good vision by Miller.
Good vision and good balance. He was hit and thought, is he going to go down? But he was able to keep his feet wider than his shoulders. Got himself straightened up and picks up 4 to the 49. So in the last series of downs, 5 on first down, you get 4 here. That is part of the Wolverine recipe for offensive success.
Second down and 6. Single receivers to each side. High snap, give it to Rankin. Following blockers. Turns the corner across the 40, 35, and diving for more yards. That's another Grove City first down, getting this offensive running game going on this drive for the Wolverines.
How about Shepard Miller out there as a lead blocker that time? The running backs, be it DeMary, Miller, or Rankin, they don't do a lot of run blocking, but in that package, they've had the block for each other, and that time Miller leading the way, and it's first down to the 34. Now, some of the big boys back in. We see Lucas Lohman, Anthony Brunette back in at fullback. Ian DeMary is the tailback.
First and 10, Wolverines from the 33-yard line of the Hanover Panthers. Run it with DeMary. And Mary's going to be down just shy of the 30-yard line. It looks like the Wolverines have found something running off the left side of the offensive line.
Yeah, you go off that left side. Of course, Jed Feldmeyer at guard, Nathan Trainer at left tackle. When they go to the unbalanced, Gabe Hildy slides out there as well. First-team All-PAC offensive lineman, but having success. And again, you think about the cumulative effect of the ground game, too. The gains that are 2, 3, 4 yards in the first half, in the fourth quarter, that's when they turn into 7, 8, 10 yards or more.
Second down and 8 for the Wolverines. Both offset backs in the backfield. Receivers to each side. Give the ball to Rankin, who hesitated in the hole and found that gap and was able to drive the football down to about the 28-yard line.
And that time going off the right side, and Rankin following Miller. So 3rd down and 4 at the 27-yard line. Upcoming Wolverines, they're 2 of 3 on 3rd down today.
Rankin is the tailback. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right side. Wiley to throw it, stands in the pocket, and pass in and out of the hands of Daniel Sullivan at the 20-yard line. Brings up a 4th and 4 for the Wolverines.
On the outer edge of Dylan Lane's field goal range, from here it would be 44, almost 45, as season long as 44. And it will be the field goal unit coming out.
So plenty of time on the play clock. It's now down under 20 seconds. Lambert to snap it. Sutton Ellis will hold, and Dylan Lane to kick. Ball's on the 34, so this is a 44-yard attempt for the first-team All-PAC kicker. Snap and a hold, and Brady Lane's kick is twisting off to the left, and it is no good. So with 3:34 to go in the half, Hanover still holds a 10-0 lead as Lane's kick had plenty of distance, but it kind of hooked and twisted off to the left side.
Yeah, he hit it well, certainly, but perhaps sometimes when you maybe kind of overexert just a bit, pull it a little bit, that's what happened there. Now, Hanover takes over at the 27-yard line from the previous line of scrimmage. 1 timeout left for Hanover, but ample time, of course, the 2-minute timeout as well. But this is a key series of downs upcoming for both teams, especially for the Wolverines.
Panthers going to empty the backfield. Now they will reset the formation completely, bring a running back into the backfield, put trips to the left side. They're going to run it on 1st down with Dunning, and Dunning is tripped up deep into the backfield as the running game for the Panthers has been definitely controlled by this Wolverine defense.
That was one of the keys from Coach DiDonato, is to limit the running game. Again, Hanover is a pass-happy, pass-heavy team, but still to be able to, when you stop the run like that, doesn't matter what type of offense you are, 2nd and 13 is not ideal. Good job by Brubaker there. Had some help certainly from Klaus and others.
2nd and 13, back to the 24-yard line. We go under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left side. Left side receiver goes in motion to the right. Raudenbush to throw. Pass caught and immediately tackled after a short gain down to the 29-yard line. Grove City Secondary's done a great job reacting to the completion and making the tackle in front of them.
Yeah, tackling in space, not easy. That was Clark Rexroth on the tackle, hit by Klaus. Now 3rd down, and Ben Bladel back in for this 3rd down as a pass rush specialist here. Let's see if he or one of his cohorts at linebacker can get after Raudenbush here on this 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 from the 29-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Raudenbush to throw, being pressured, rolling to the outside. Now he'll just throw this one away into the bench. And incomplete. He had Kellen Taylor right there in his face when he threw the ball away.
Yeah, Taylor, the nose tackle, he came through untouched. And we're at the 2-minute timeout.
We are at the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to play in the half here from Hanover, Indiana. It is the Panthers for Hanover 10, Grove City 0. You're listening to the Wolverine Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and one associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student-athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
.159 to play in the half. And on 4th down and 8, we'll see the punter coming out for the Panthers.
See if the Wolverines come after this one.
Nick Stoner, the freshman, averaging almost 42 yards a kick. Snap knee high, gets this kick away. Bowden Davidson will make the catch on the run up to the 40-yard line before being driven back, and it is pretty good field position for the Wolverines to start this drive.
And a good job by Davidson to field the punt, because you saw the wind is obviously playing some tricks with balls in the air, especially the kicked balls today. As you saw that punt, the trajectory, and it just. So there was a penalty for unnecessary roughness against Hanover, so the drive's now going to start at the Hanover 48 after the penalty is stepped off. But Davidson came up as that. It went from being a high punt to a line drive. If he doesn't field it, it's probably going to bounce another 10, 15 yards for sure. He fields it, picks up a few yards on the return, and now the unnecessary roughness penalty puts the ball at the Hanover 47. Wolverines all 3 timeouts. Chance to get on the board here before halftime.
1st and 10 from the Hanover 47-yard line. Receivers to each side. Offset backs in the backfield. Miller is going to get the carry, running to the left side. Shepard Miller with a good run on a 1st down, and that's the difference we've seen the last couple drives, really setting things up with good 1st down runs.
Yeah, and quickly back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 from the 43-yard line. Miller gets it again. This time was spun backwards, and Miller is going to be dropped back near the original line of scrimmage. He's going to lose the 5 yards he gained, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, he was hit, then got away. Timeout taken by Grove City. He was hit, then tried to, maybe a bit of a freshman mistake. Instead of just, okay, take your loss, it's 3rd and 6. Tried to make something happen. Gave some more ground, and now back to where the series of downs began at the 47. So 3rd and 10, and Grove City takes the first of its 3 timeouts.
So we got a minute 16 to play. Wolverines facing a 3rd down and 10. Wolverines 2 of 4 converting 3rd downs on the afternoon. See other PAC teams in action in the D3 playoffs. W&J and Susquehanna tied at 14 with about 6 minutes to go in the half. Geneva. That's basketball. I was going to say they have 51 points. They can't have 51 points in the first quarter.
Well, they're playing SUNY Potsdam in basketball. They're playing SUNY Brockport in football in the ECAC Scotty Whitelaw Bowl up in Western New York. We'll catch up. We'll have the whole D3 scoreboard coming up at halftime.
3rd and 10 from the Panther 47-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Wiley looking that way. Pass is going to be caught by Sam Penna, but it's going to be shy of that 1st down marker and bring up 4th down for Grove City.
Hanover still with the 1 timeout. Hanover not electing to use it. Grove City now maybe working some clock as well. You don't want to give the ball back to Hanover, especially here on the field.
Trips to the left. Wiley to throw it on 4th down. Sidearms the pass underneath, and it's knocked away and incomplete. looking for Breck Peacock, and the Panthers have the ball back with 42 seconds to go in the first half.
Just a lot of traffic there. The umpire there, a couple of defenders. Wiley, that was an awfully tight window, and I'm not sure if even Peacock would have been past the first down stick anyway. Grove City, promising drive, stalls out. Now Hanover with it at the 42, still with a timeout. Remember, Hearn has a 52-yard field goal to his credit. So you figure if they get to the 35, 15, probably about 25 yards to be in field goal range for Hanover, and a timeout, so the whole playbook is in play.
Receiver in motion to the right side. Rodebush looking to throw, being pressured by Brubaker. Rolling to the outside, looks downfield, and that pass is going to fall incomplete near the line of scrimmage. We're down to 33 seconds. It's second down and 10.
A lot to like about that play. Good pressure from the Wolverines. It also used up 9 seconds. So Rodebush scrambling again and getting it back to the line of scrimmage, but second down. This right here, shy of midfield, it's also maybe a case where you have to keep an eye on one of those trick plays as well. You know, something maybe even a hook and lateral to a trail receiver, something like that.
Rodebush takes the snap, drops deep, going to take the one-on-one shot downfield with Bowden Davidson. And they're going to say that pass incomplete. It hit the turf. The official right there in good position to call the play, and it's incomplete and third down and 10.
What a pass, as there wasn't much room at all for Pennington. Ball is the corner and the safety. Frazier coming over the top. It was a picture-perfect pass. It had to be for Pennington to have any chance of bringing it in. He couldn't secure it, however, and instead of a long gainer, it's third down for the Panthers. And the clock down to 27 seconds. Remember, Grove City still with a timeout also.
5 receivers in the formation. Rodenbush dropping to throw. Going to take the shot. Ball lofting deep downfield and out of bounds. The receiver went out of bounds. Therefore, he could not come back and make a play on the ball, as the official there threw the hat, indicating he became ineligible by going out of bounds. And it's fourth down with 20 seconds to play in the half.
Now, they were looking for Blake Nation on the out and up, and Hanover was saying he was pushed out. He was pushed out. He went out on his own, and Brubaker with him step for step, and he's allowed to bump him even if the ball's not in the air. So now fourth down, and I have to think the Wolverines at this point come with the all-out block.
So Stoner, the freshman, to punt. Rush on, gets the high kick away. Bowden Davidson, fair catch made at his 21-yard line with 13 seconds to play in the half.
Good job by the protection unit for Hanover to get the kick away. Now, presumably, the Wolverines will take a knee and regroup. Grove City will have the ball to start the second half. They'll have the option to receive, which I'm sure they will. But a chance early on for the Wolverines went by the wayside. Hanover maybe ruining a missed opportunity or two as well. But Hanover will go to the locker room leading 10-0, but a chance for the Wolverines to regroup at the intermission.
While he does take the knee in the final 10 seconds of this first half, will roll off the clock, and a fast first half is in the books as we've reached 1 o'clock, and it's halftime. It is Hanover 10, Grove City 0. We'll come back and begin the halftime information numbers and get you caught up on Wolverine athletics, and that is all coming up after we take this time out with Grove City trailing Hanover 10-0 here at the halftime break.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies. That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the news. This morning, we are saluting the 2.2 million women who have joined in the war effort. They now make up 37% of the workforce, changing their role forever.
The prestigious Harvard Medical School is breaking ground today, opening its doors to new female applicants.
Today, little girls all over the world look to the sky, where the first woman is now in space.
Military stereotypes are challenged today with the trailblazing promotion of a U.S. female officer to 4-star general. It was just announced that the vast majority of last year's doctorate degrees were earned by women.
We've come so far, but our news is changing for the worse. More women die from heart disease and stroke than men, even though it can be prevented. Make a change at GoRedForWomen.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Am too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work, there's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control of my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Halftime here on the Wolverine Sports Network, opening round of the Division III NCAA football playoffs, in Hanover at home here in Hanover, Indiana, leading the Wolverines 10-0 here at the break.
Yeah, statistically favoring Hanover as well. 157 yards, Grove City 70 yards in the first half. Hanover doubling up Grove City in first downs 12-6. Really, the key is, it's an elementary thing in football. Run the ball, stop the run. It's something that Grove City it's been Grove City's bread and butter the last several years. Running the football, stopping the run. Hanover, a team not known for running the ball, thanks in part due to the running of the quarterback Raudebusch. 67 rushing yards on 15 carries. That's 4.5 yards a pop. Grove City, 16 carries, 41 yards, 2.6. Wolverines not able to really get the ground game going fully. They've had had some success here and there, and Raudebusch hitting a couple of big gainers. But when you look at it, Hanover's been able to get enough rushing. I mean, I'm sure that the head coach Matt Theobald and the offensive staff, knowing how much they love to throw the ball, the fact that they have been able to get 67 yards, they probably would have taken that for a full game total if you'd asked them before the game. And Raudebusch, 12 of 22, but he has not been sacked today. Wolverines started to get a little bit more pressure on him as the second quarter wore on, but again, he's had time back there, and he has been able to find Shelby for 6 catches, and then a total of 6 different receivers catching passes today for the Panthers. On the Grove City side, Chase Rankin, 35 yards on 6 carries. Really the one play looming. The Wolverines hit the long completion, but a fumble at the 2-yard line by McGroarty, and that ended up, instead of being perhaps 7-0 Grove City, Hanover the recovery, and then a return out past the 30 to the 35. That set up Hanover's first score of the game, the touchdown. Certainly a play that that stands out right now in this one. But again, a lot of football left. Grove City will have the ball coming out to start the second half.
And the Wolverines, they've been able to control the big play passing offense. 12 completions for 90 yards. They've taken multiple shots downfield, and the Wolverines secondary has stood tall.
Yeah, the long pass play, Shelby, a 16-yarder. The long play was Raudebusch, a 23-yard scramble. Shelby ran 11 yards on the end around earlier, but as you said, Grove City has made Hanover drive the field. You look at the drives for Hanover. They were 11 plays, 9 plays, 13 plays, and then what were the last two? 3 and out, 3 and out. So that's Grove City gaining some traction. The Grove City first drive was 10 plays, 42 yards. It ended with the fumble near the goal line, but since then, a 3 and out, 8-play drive that ended with the missed field goal, a 4 and out, and then a kneel down. So Hanover's been able to sustain drives, but Grove City has made Hanover sustain drives as well. Hanover wants to get the chunk plays. They want to get 20, 25, 30 yards a pop. They don't want to have to do that, but they've been able to do it. And thus, it's 10-0 here at the intermission. And scoring recap.
Sure.
It was no score in the first quarter. Hiram took the lead 38 seconds into the second quarter as quarterback Ian Raudebusch on a 5-yard run on a quarterback sweep over the right side. Clint Hearn with the PAT capping a 9-play, 63-yard drive. These 4:36, and then at the 7:53 mark, Hearn with a 29-yard field goal, capping a 13-play, 49-yard drive that used 5:28.
PAC teams in action today, since we have the right scoreboard up this time. ECAC action for Geneva. They are at Brockport up in New York. They trail Brockport 25-3 in the second quarter of that one. Division III, the football tournament, W&J Susquehanna, they are tied at 14 in the latter stages of the first half between those two teams. And, of course, Westminster and Mount St. Joseph will play tonight at 6 o'clock in the Open Doors Bowl Extra Points Bowl at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium.
And looking at some other scores from around the country, a little bit of a lighter schedule. There are 8 total games in the first round. 16 teams play today. The 8 winners advance to next week, joining the other 24 for the round of 32. The games are all at halftime or close to it. Union and Muhlenberg tied at 14. Union winning the Liberty League. Muhlenberg out of the Centennial Conference. They're playing in Allentown, tied at 14. LaGrange coming up from Georgia, right on the Georgia-Alabama border, having to fly up to Framingham State. LaGrange was the higher-seeded team, but unable to host, so on the road, and it's 10-7 LaGrange, 43 seconds to go in the half. Mark told you about W&J and Susquehanna tied at 14. And at the half, Cortland, we know them well, saw them in week 1. Cortland and Springfield tied at 7. That's a rematch from last year's quarterfinals. Springfield ended Cortland's reign as national champions. Cortland now going to Springfield and looking to turn the tables on the Pride. And just underway, a 1 o'clock kickoff, noon local time. Wheaton out to an early lead on Crown, 7-0 in a first-round game. And then also just getting underway, too, Coe and Concordia. Coe from Iowa taking on Concordia, Wisconsin. Concordia in week 1 played at Teal in a Friday night game. They're scoreless. And then the 3 o'clock game today, Chapman goes up to Spokane, Washington. Chapman out of Southern California taking on Whitworth, the champions of the Northwest Conference. Those are the 8 games today on the NCAA playoff scoreboard.
So those are the scores of games underway. It's always a busy time for Wolverine athletics.
It certainly is a lot going on. The Grove City women's basketball team in action today. They're underway, leading Pitt Greensburg 7-2. 6:06 to go in the first quarter in the Grove City College Arena. So I want to give a quick shout out to Tyler Grupak. He is running things back at the ranch today. He and 2 really good student workers, Tori Stevenson, who was most outstanding offensive player in women's soccer in the PAC this year, and Emma Daly, who also works for us. Emma, pretty good soccer player in her own right. They are helping Tyler today, so thanks to those 2 young women for delaying the start of their Thanksgiving break a few hours to help us out today. But thanks to Tori and Emma, and then, of course, Tyler running things there, and Jordan Cole, our assistant AD. She is supervising things back there along with Kathy Jacobs. Last night, the Grove City men's basketball team falling at Penn State Greater Allegheny 72-70. Mike Christensen and Kyle Randall each with 22 points. The Wolverines, both the men and women, they'll open PAC play at home on Wednesday, December 3rd against Geneva. 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men. That'll be the men's next game. The women will return to action Tuesday. They will go down to Kenyon for a 5 p.m. start down in Gambier, Ohio. The Grove City swimming and diving teams, they are in action also. They are at the University of Rochester. That was, I believe, a 1 o'clock start for that non-conference dual meet. Really good test for the Wolverines and for Rochester, too. Those are two good teams meeting in a dual meet today. Last week, of course, the Grove City soccer teams were in the NCAA tournaments. Last Friday, men falling in double overtime to Calvin 1-0. The women falling to Illinois Tech 1-0. And then Thursday, the Grove City College women's volleyball team, champions of the PAC for the first time since 2001. They won it, of course, last Saturday night at Hiram, a 3-0 sweep of the Terriers. Really an emphatic victory for Grove City. So it was 3 wins on the road in tournament play to get the PAC title and a berth in the NCAA Division III Tournament for the first time since 1986. The Wolverines' reward for that, they got to play 3-time defending national champion Juniata down in Virginia Beach at Virginia Wesleyan University. Wolverines battled tough, ended up as a 3-0 win for Juniata, 25-15 the first set, 25-23, 28-26 in the third set. Wolverines were right there with Juniata in the second and third set. Unfortunately, it was Juniata just getting a couple last points here and there, but really after a slow start early on, Grove City was down 11-4 in the first set, but after that, went toe-to-toe with the 3-time national champs. But a great season for head coach Leo Sales and his team. Congratulations to them on really an historic season in 2025, winning the PAC, getting back into the NCAA tournament, and a lot coming back as well for the Wolverines for next year and beyond. But congrats to them on a fabulous season, and I believe that covers everything. Indoor track will be getting started in a couple weeks up at Case Western on the first Friday of December. December 4th, I believe, is that night. So yeah, lots going on. Fall sports winding down. Winter sports in full swing.
A lot to get caught up on, and a lot of success for Wolverine athletics right now.
Well, what a terrific fall it's been so far. 4 teams in the NCAA playoffs, 4 conference championships. Cross-country teams both did very well. Women's tennis runner-up. Some good performances in fall golf as well. Winter, the swim teams are off to good starts. Women's basketball is 2-2. Men's basketball, a little bit of a slow start. They'll be fine. You never count out a Steve Lammy coach team. They'll be fine. Still working out the lineup and the rotation and stuff. It's a team that always plays its best basketball once the calendar flips from December to January. Once the big ball drops in New York City, it's like the Wolverines then take off. But they'll, of course, be getting into conference play starting on the 3rd. 16-game conference schedule in basketball this year. Of course, the last number of years, been a 20-game schedule. Double round robin with 11 teams. Play the other 10 twice for 20, which means you already have a couple conference games in before Thanksgiving. Well, with Hiram coming in, makes 12 teams. We have divisions, 6 in the north, 6 in the south. So you play everybody in your side twice. That's 10 games. Play the other side once, 3 home, 3 away on Saturdays for travel reasons. So 16 games, top 4 in each division make the tournament. Very excited to see how that shakes out this year. Division play was a lot of fun in volleyball this year. I expect it to be the same way with basketball.
Now, how will that change next year with more programs coming into the conference?
Well, St. Francis, of course, coming in next year as it transitions from Division I to Division III. Volleyball will go back to one division. They will play a single round robin of 12 matches. For basketball, I believe, and what will happen is St. Francis will be in, I think, the South Division next year. But then the following year, they will go to the North Division to kind of help mitigate travel and everything, because they will not be eligible for conference titles for a few years as they cycle through. So that's more just for balancing purposes. Long term, I'm not sure how that will shake out, but looks like divisions are here to stay, at least for the short term in basketball, because of just limited number of dates and having so many games to play. So a new wrinkle.
And what a great job the leadership under Joe and Derko and the conference have done. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of challenges over the last 10, 12 years, and they've handled it so well.
They certainly have. Between just the changes you think of NCAA, the national landscape, regional landscapes, schools coming and going, so forth. You think of what the PAC has done, adding schools, being a place where schools want to be. Franciscan coming in a handful of years ago, then Allegheny and Hiram. Of course, our great associate membership with Case Western Reserve in football, and now St. Francis coming from Division I and seeing the PAC is what we want to be from an athletic standpoint, what it stands for academically, from an environment standpoint, the type of schools in the PAC. It's the PAC is the place to be. Hats off to Joe Underko, our President's Council. It is the President's Athletic Conferences. It's not lip service. The presidents of our fine institutions, they're the ones making the decisions, setting policies, etc. Joe Underko, Kristen Consuega, Brian Rose, the PAC office. We are very fortunate to have all those people with the great foresight and interest in Division III leading the way.
We will take a break. When we come back, we'll get you set for the second half of action as the Wolverines trail Hanover here at the break by a score of 10-0. You are listening to the Wolverine Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than four walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Couple minutes away from the start of the third quarter here on the Wolverine Sports Network. Wolverines will get the football to begin the third quarter, what's turned out to be a beautiful afternoon here in Hanover, Indiana. Team arrived here a late afternoon yesterday in a just kind of a constant driving rain. Got through the walkthrough and then got off the field before it really got bad.
Yeah, it was. I made the trip down last night, and it was the rain that was here was all through across Ohio. But this is you think about November here, the week before Thanksgiving in this part of the country. You know, the Midwest, Ohio Valley, whatever you want to call it, Kentuckiana, if you will. What a beautiful day, beautiful facility. Everything's been great, except the Wolverines are trailing 10-0 at the half, but a lot of football left, and an important drive for the Wolverines coming out here to start the third quarter. As you said, they will get the ball to begin the second half. And as we saw some things as the second quarter went on that, you know, you can build on from both offensively and defensively, starting to get pressure on Radobush. A couple 3-and-outs to end the half. The ground game for Grove City starting to get going. I think they've been close on a couple deep balls as well. I think the Wolverines can hit one, you know, in the passing game. I think that could really, you know, open things up for this Grove City offense. They've been close, you know, like whether it's McGroarty getting behind the defense or Sullivan, you know, maybe a guy like Sam Penna slipping underneath. We'll see, but important thing first here: get some good field position from the return.
It will be Cameron Epps and Chase Rankin back to return the kickoff as we get set to begin this third quarter of action. The Wolverines will work left to right here in this third quarter as they will be looking up into the sun for this return to get this second half underway.
Yeah, this time of year, the sun doesn't get too high in the sky. And see Cam Epps shading his eyes. He needs sunglasses and a tinted visor and some eye black, I think, with that sun.
So we're ready to begin the third quarter. Clint Hearn, the sophomore kicker, puts his foot into this one. It'll be Epps across the 15, 20, turns on the speed 25 and dives down near the 30-yard line. And the Wolverines will start from their 30-yard line, left to right, to begin this third quarter of action.
Nice run back. Wolverines setting up the return right, coming to the near side, and good blocking, good coverage from Hanover as well. Panthers doing a good job staying disciplined, staying in their lanes. It'll be the Wolverines working from the near hash mark.
14:55, first snap of this third quarter from scrimmage. It'll be McGroarty to the left, Sullivan to the right side. Rankin is the tailback with Ethan Wiley. Rankin got to get the carry. He'll get across the 30, and he is going to be down to the 34-yard line, so he'll pick up 4 on first down, bringing up second down and 6 for this Grove City offense. First half, 2 of 5 on a third down conversions, 0 of 1 on a fourth down. They'll keep both fullbacks in the backfield with McGroarty and Sullivan the receivers. Rankin remains the tailback on second down and 6. Wiley to throw it. Drops to the 25-yard line, fires the deep out, and that pass will be knocked away and incomplete. This will bring up third down and 6 now for the Wolverines.
Good coverage by Kane Powell-Smith. He gave some cushion on McGroarty, but closed the gap quickly, and now third and 6.
14:15 to play here in this third quarter. Third down and 6. Trips to the left, single receiver right side. Wolverines turn and check with the sidelines. Play clock under 12 seconds. Wiley to throw. He'll drop, stand in the pocket. Pass fired out. That's complete for a first down near midfield. And out of bounds, and the Wolverines sideline looking for an extra flag as the receiver was shoved out of bounds after the catch by Seth McGroarty.
A lot of cushion over there. McGroarty 15 yards downfield. The DB was still giving him 5 or 6 more yards. On third and 10, a relatively easy pitch and catch for the Wolverines.
Now 3 of 6 on a third down. Single receivers to each side. The offset backs now in the backfield with Wiley. Wiley gives the ball to Rankin, running off the left side, and Rankin going to be down to the 49-yard line. He's going to get 1 out of the play, closer to 2, and it's going to set up second down for Grove City. Wolverines come right back to the line. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right side. Fullback set up as a wing to the left side with Chase Rankin, the junior running back. Going to give the ball to Rankin across midfield, lowers the shoulder. He'll drive for a couple extra yards, and he's down to the 46-yard line. A third down and 4 now facing the Wolverines.
Something to keep an eye on behind the play. Starting center Zeke Swift. He, of course, took over after Bobby Benton was injured. He was a little slow getting up. Might have got the leg rolled up on. He's back up over the football, but something to keep an eye on here. Wolverines already a little thin up there, although Swift has done a great job as taking over, but you don't want to have to get into a playoff game with your number 3 center out there.
3rd and 4 from the 46-yard line of the Panthers. Wiley to throw it, facing the blitz, and he's going to go down back at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down and 10 as the defender came free for the Panthers, and they record their second sack.
And both sacks have been just like that, coming off of the far side. And fortunate that Ethan Wiley didn't lose the football on either one of them, as he took a big hit on that one. And the Wolverines, after getting 1 third down, will have to punt away the football.
So Lane to punt. This will be a second kick, 37 yards on the first kick of the day. Snap back to him. They protect him well. A high kick. Fair catch being called for along the sidelines and near the 20-yard line. That is where the Panthers will have their first possession of the second half.
Of course, Brian Shelby, the do-it-all guy back there returning the punts as well. A nice high and directional punt out of bounds to 20-yard line. Good job by Lane to keep, he kept it out of Shelby's hands. I mean, he caught it. I don't know if he's in bounds or not, but either way, it's a long field for Hanover.
1st and 10 from the 20, right to left here, third quarter for the Panthers.
Nick Clemens back in. Good to see him out there for the Wolverines. Missed some time in the first half.
Raudenbush going to hand it off on to 1st down. And the running back only able to gain about a yard on the carry. As for the most part, the Grove City defense has contained this running game well.
Jordan Karcheski, the defensive end there, shed the blocker and brought down the ball carrier. That was Williams. Going off the right side. He gets 2, but 2nd and 8.
One receiver right, 2 to the left side. We'll put that receiver on the left side in motion. Raudenbush to throw it on 2nd and 8. Backing up now. Inside is 10. Rolling to the outside. And he'll just throw this one away and out of bounds into the bench.
Good coverage by the Wolverines downfield. They were blanketed all over the receivers as Raudenbush was able to escape the pocket. He was flushed. Jack Jolly bearing down on him late. And a wise move by Raudenbush there, knowing he still had 3rd down, knows his team's up 10-0. Don't want to try and not the time to try to be a hero there, and just tossed it out of bounds. Past the line of scrimmage, so no grounding call.
3rd down and 8. Panthers 2 of 6 on 3rd down this afternoon. Raudenbush claps, takes the snap, drops to throw, standing in the pocket, goes downfield, and came back to the football and made a catch near the 1st down marker. He might be a little bit shy, about a yard shy. It's 4th down and 1.
That was Pennington, who he kind of lost his footing, and by the time he was able to make the catch, he was short of the 30. It's 4th and about half a yard, and the offense is going to stay out there for Hanover.
Panthers 12 of 20, converting 4th down on the season.
Boy, turnover on downs here would be massive. The Wolverines could get the ball.
Receiver going to come in motion. They give it to a new back who is in there. And he's going to have the 1st down carry for the Panthers.
Yeah, it was Williams getting the carry, and wasn't much room. He was able to squeeze through, take it across the 30 to the 31. So Hanover will keep the chains moving. Coach Theobald, trusting his offense, trusting that offensive line, and anytime you have a guy like Raudenbush, the front 7, if you will, cannot just fully commit to the running back. They had to keep an eye on him, and that allowed Williams to get the 1st down.
Receiver in motion from right to left. They fake the run. Raudenbush going to look underneath, and Bowden Davidson broke on the ball and knocked it away. And incomplete at the 40-yard line. Looking for Shelby downfield.
Good break by Davidson, read it well. It wasn't the cleanest looking pass from Raudenbush either. It looked like I don't think it was intentional. Almost a bit of a changeup coming out there. We've seen him make that throw a number of times today from the far hash mark to the numbers, to the opposite numbers. And that one it took a while getting there.
2nd and 10 for the Panthers. One receiver to the right, trips to the left side. Raudenbush going to give it to his running back. That's the freshman in Williams. And he's going to have the 1st down. out near the 45-yard line.
Wolverines overplayed the quarterback run that time and had a little bit of a lighter box out there. The extra linebacker, only 2 down linemen, and Williams, well, really the first real running room that the Panthers have had between the tackles all afternoon, and it's first down at the 45. Back-to-back first downs on this possession.
Williams came into play, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns all in the season. First and 10, Panthers from their 45. Williams going to get the ball again, slashing up the middle. And Williams going to be right at that first down marker, give him 10 and a Panther first down.
Back-to-back first downs, and Hanover saying, hey, Williams has the hot hand. We're going to go with him. We've saw a number of backs so far today from from Hanover, but Williams now on this drive. And we saw Nation and Dunning, but it's Williams doing some good work on this possession, taking the ball into Grove City territory.
1 receiver right, 2 to the left. Now split backs, and one of those backs is going to go into motion. Rautenbush sets up the screen the other way. Williams bobbled it, but was able to hold on to it. And he's down to the Grove City 42-yard line.
Good job by Kellen Taylor, the nose tackle, to get out there and bring him down. A lot of window dressing by Hanover, motioning Shelby out of the backfield to the near side, and then looking like they're setting up a screen to the near side. They go back to the far side to Williams, but Grove City did not overplay it. Good discipline by Grove City, and Kellen Taylor, who's put together a good rookie year at nose tackle, getting out there to bring down Williams.
So it is going to be second down and 7. Rautenbush to throw. Pressure. Jack Jolly's going to pull him down from behind at midfield. And for Jack Jolly now, 4.5 sacks on the season.
Wolverines are saying, finally we got that guy. Jolly, good pursuit from the backside, able to get around the tackle, the right tackle, Owen Cruz, who's done a good job today, but finally that time it was Jolly getting past him, and a loss back to the 49. Third down and 14 for Hanover, with the first sack of the day, and it comes at a key time for Grove City.
So it's third down and 14. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left side. Rautenbush checks with the sidelines. Play clock's back working, now under 5 seconds. He'll clap, take the snap, drop deep to throw. Stands in the pocket, fires downfield, and that pass is going to be caught. They're going to call that a good catch for a gain of 12 yards on the reception to Jack Pennington, the sophomore receiver.
Good grab, as you said, kind of reached back and pulled it in, and now instead of perhaps having to punt from midfield, it's 4th and 2, and easy decision to go for it. Hanover, it's not a third down conversion, but if you're not going to convert on third down, this is the next best thing. Get a big chunk and give yourself 4th and short.
Third time this afternoon, the Panthers will play on 4th down. They are 1 of 2 so far. Under 6 minutes to play, third quarter. It is Hanover 10 and Grove City 0.
A drive that's used about 5.5 minutes, but we're going to have a timeout by the Panthers.
They let the play clock run down to 1 and took the timeout. 5:49 to play, third quarter. Hanover 10, Grove City 0 on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and 1 associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
Fourth and 2 for the Panthers. 1 receiver to the right, 2 to the left side, a wing to the left side. That wing will go in motion to the right. Rautenbush drops back to his own 45-yard line, fires downfield, pass caught across the 20, and down near the 15-yard line. That's DJ Grinter, the sophomore wide receiver, converts the 4th down.
Nice play design, route design. The motion man, he went deep down the field, up the seam, Shelby went out, and then going in's Grinter. They cross, and on the deep end, first down to the 15. So on 4th and 2. Remember, Grove City had them 3rd and 14 back at midfield. The 12-yard completion on 3rd down, putting Hanover in position to be able to go for it. And not only get it, but they get a big chunk.
We'll put 2 receivers to the left. Raudenbush going to give the ball to Williams, going to turn sideways inside the 15 and got down to the 14-yard line.
At this point, if you're Grove City, you're thinking, hold them to 3. It's 10-0 right now. 13-0 is, that's 2-possession game. 17, the degree of difficulty goes up significantly.
1 receiver to the right. They'll start with 3 receivers to the left side. Williams, the running back. He is to the left of Raudenbush. Play clock now down under 15 seconds. Receiver goes in motion out to the left side. Raudenbush standing into the pocket. He'll dump it off to Williams. Williams makes a catch at the 15. He's inside the 10-yard line before being knocked out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Do we have a flag mark? Yeah, flag back at the 24-yard line.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense for the 53.
It's going to be on Cruz, the right tackle, 15-yarder. That's a biggie. It's now going to be 2nd down and long. What's been a very penalty-free game.
And when the pressure came off the outside, looked like it might be holding because you saw the shoulders turn, but it was the hands of the face that made those shoulders turn.
And from a Grove City perspective, it doesn't feel good for the defender. It's 5 more yards back. Now, instead of 3rd and short, it's 2nd down back at the 29, 2nd and 24.
Raudenbush going to run it with Williams. Running to the left side across the 25, 20, cuts back 15, and all the way down to the 5-yard line. That's Shelby who lined up at the tailback spot. And he got a lot of that back on that 1st down run.
Yeah, he gets it down to the 6, gain of 23. Got to the outside. Key block on the perimeter by Grinter, the receiver. These Hanover receivers do a nice job of blocking downfield, blocking on the perimeter. And the reason that became such a sizable gain of 20-plus yards is due to that perimeter blocking.
Going to put 1 receiver to the right. They're going to keep it with Raudenbush looking for the 1st down, and they'll push the pile inside the 5, closer to the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Yeah, going the old-fashioned quarterback sneak on 3rd and 1. Very safe play call. Got right up behind his center and gets 1st down. Josh Jones, freshman center from Stowe, Ohio. Pretty big interior. David Holloway at right guard at 300. This offensive line has played very well. Especially, it's easier for a line to run block than it is to pass block, generally speaking. They've done a good job with the pass blocking, and that has helped set up becoming an intermittent but effective running game for Hanover.
Raudenbush puts his receiver in motion, fakes the pitch. He's going to keep the football and push to the goal line. He's down to the 1-yard line. And he went down at the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Panthers from there.
Hanover, it's a spread offense, but there are a lot of things like you'd see out of an old wing team with so much misdirection, counters, fakes, and so forth. That time, fake to the running back, fake to the receiver coming in motion, then the quarterback keeps it. And a lot for a defense to have to prepare for and remain disciplined. And, 2nd goal at the 1.
They will put 2 receivers to the right side, a wing to the right. Williams is the tailback. Williams is going to get the handoff, try to follow the big offensive line to the goal line, and the Wolverines push him back again. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
That time, not much push from the guys in blue. The Grove City defense standing tall. Keegan Frazier off the bottom of the pile. Karcheski, Cower, Taylor, that front 3. Now, 3rd and goal from, I'm not sure if it's more than 2-3 inches.
Raudenbush under center. Williams is the tailback. Raudenbush on the carry. No indication yet. It's 4th down. Wolverine defense stops him at the 1-yard line again. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
Nick Clemens there to help keep him out. They're somehow closer to the goal line than they were before. I didn't think there was any more room, but
4th and goal from the 1. Raudenbush under center. Going to follow the offensive line. The push for the goal line. No indication yet. Touchdown now as he broke the plane. And the Panthers will add to their lead.
On the third crack, able to get it across. They did not need much there. The Grove City defense stood tall, but Raudenbush kept the legs moving and able to get on the pile, and eventually the momentum takes it over the goal line, and an impressive touchdown drive for Hanover. 19 plays, 80 yards on the drive.
Hearn on for the extra point, 47 of 50 on the season. Snap and hold are good, and the extra point is also good. 52 seconds to play here in the third quarter. It is Hanover 17, Grove City 0 on the Wolverine Sports Network.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Wolverines set to get the football back for only the second time in this third quarter with 52 seconds remaining in this third.
Touchdown drive used over 10 minutes, Mark. And not only from the score standpoint, but that clock is not Grove City's front at this point either.
This kick is going to hit at the 11 and go out of bounds. Nice job by the freshman Epps to track the football, knowing it was heading out of bounds, and let the kick roll out and take the good field position to start this possession for the Wolverines, now down by 17 with 52 seconds in the third.
Of course, you remember last year at Johns Hopkins, the Wolverines were down 17-0. This time of the game, battled back and had a chance to send it to overtime, but almost at this point, this feels like a drive where the Wolverines have to get something out of this drive. They need 3 scores. Got to get one of them here.
1st and 10 from the Wolverine 35-yard line. Wiley takes the snap. He'll throw it on first down. That pass is going to be caught at the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 5 on a first down for the Wolverines. Seth McGroarty with his 4th catch of the afternoon.
It was tipped at the line. That thing was going end over end. Looked like it might have been George Martin, the linebacker / safety, that slot position. Might have got a finger on it, but 5 yards on the first play of the drive out to the 40.
2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. 22 seconds to play here in the third. Wiley got to give the ball to Rankin. Rankin's going to have the first down and more across the 45 and down to the 47-yard line. And Wiley was a little slow to get up with the flag back at the 36.
Flag in the backfield. That's
personal foul. Defense number 10. Late hit on the quarterback. 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
That'll go on Garyon Jenkins, the defensive end.
He just took a liberty at Ethan Wiley, so 15 yards, and all of a sudden the Wolverines are inside the 40-yard line here in the closing moments of the third quarter. This has been a very clean game today. That's a silly penalty from Hanover. Matt Theobald, they might argue about the penalty, but he knows that was just handing Grove City 15 yards.
1st and 10 from the Panther 38-yard line. Rankin gets the carry, running off the left side across the 35. And Rankin is going to be down to the 33-yard line. And we have come to the end of this afternoon's third quarter. After 3, it is Hanover 17, Grove City 0. You are listening to the Wolverine Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and one associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
Final 15 minutes of this one put up on the scoreboard. Wolverines now right to left to begin this fourth quarter, with the football resting at the Hanover 32-yard line, facing a 2nd down and 4. Two receivers right, one to the left side. Rankin's the tailback. Wiley to throw. That pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. We'll bring up now a 3rd down for this Wolverine offense. Ashton Shooter coming up there to knock the football down.
They got that hand up there in the passing lane and looked like a volleyball block there, but it's now 2 chances for the Wolverines to get 4 yards.
3rd and 4 from the 32. Wiley looks at the defense, now turns to the sideline. Play clock now under 12 seconds. They're going to empty the backfield behind Wiley and put Rankin out as the receiver. Wiley to throw it. Pass goes off the shoulder pads of Sam Penna, and that was Daniel Sullivan, and incomplete. It's 4th down.
On the just that in route, and might have been a tick behind him, but now a 4th down. And you don't want to say that this is the ball game, but if the Wolverines don't get this, a tough situation becomes even tougher.
Trips to the right, single receiver left side. Rankin the tailback. Checking with the sidelines. Play clock at 12 seconds. 4th and 4 for the Wolverines. Rankin now moves to the left side of Wiley. Wiley to throw it. Pass a little too tall and incomplete for Daniel Sullivan. And the Panthers will take over on downs.
Yeah, 2 misfires coming out of the quarter break for Grove City. So Hanover takes over now. At this point, Wolverines do not yet have a takeaway today. That would be a good time, or a 3 and out. Hanover, the time of possession today, Mark, is 28-18 to a shade over 17 minutes for Grove City. The stats have not fully updated, but Hanover 55 plays, Grove City 37 plays. Hanover 252 yards, 4.6 yards a play. That's not eye-popping, but they've been able to sustain a few drives, 3 4th down conversions. Grove City, unable to sustain drives. That's been look, Grove City a missed field goal today, fumbling inside the 5. Granted, Hanover was stopped inside the Grove City 10 as well, so both teams have left some points out there.
Bush to throw it on 1st down. He's going to take a shot downfield one-on-one with Bowden Davidson. That pass is going to be knocked away, incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
Good coverage downfield on Shelby. We've seen Shelby in the short passing game, the screen game, the end around, more traditional running plays, and now a deep shot to him. Bowden Davidson with him step for step. Good coverage from Bowden, senior out of Scottsdale, Arizona. What a career he's had in 2 sports for Grove City. Playing in the NCAA tournament for the 6th time as a student athlete. 3 times in football, 3 times in lacrosse.
2nd and 10 for the Panthers. They will run it with Nation, running towards the left side. Found a little seam, stayed on his feet. There was a flag thrown as he was out of bounds near midfield Actually back at about the 47-yard line. They spotted him out of bounds, but we'll sort out the penalty flag.
The Hanover body language indicates there was a hold out on the perimeter.
Holding, offense number 8, 10-yard penalty.
And they get Shelby with a hold out there. We noted about how well Hanover's done blocking on the perimeter today. That time, Shelby, a little bit too much of a grab. They'll get yardage credited to the 40, but then 10 yards back. It's still second down, but second down and 12. But you can see right where the back, all of a sudden, it turned it from a short gain into that a much better gain, right where the hold took place on the cornerback.
Second and 12 with the ball on the Panther 30-yard line. We'll have trips to the right, single receiver to the left side. Bush overlooking the Wolverine defense, sends a man in motion. He will drop to throw the football, rolling to the wide side. Being pressured backside, he's just going to throw this one downfield and into the Panther bench and incomplete. It'll bring up third and long.
Good pursuit from Jordan Karcheski. Now here on this third and long, Nick Clemens will come in as pass rusher, and Kellen Taylor checks out. Although Kellen's gotten after the quarterback a couple times today, but here third down with 14 minutes to go. If I'm Hanover, up 17-0, and the way your defense is playing, I keep maybe a quarterback run here. Even if you don't get it, punt away the football, but you keep that clock moving. You can use up another 35, 40 seconds.
Hanover 3 of 10, converting third down so far. Bush takes the snap, drops to throw, pressured up the middle. Now he'll roll to the wide side. He's going to run with the football across the 35-40, has the first down to midfield and down to the 47-yard line of Grove City.
Well, they kept it in Raudenbush's hands on the ground, and the scramble and able to break contain to the 48-yard line, and he burned the Wolverines in the first half of the big run, and now here on 3rd and 12, scrambling and down to the 48. That's going to put him at about, I think 22 there, so 57 yards now on 11 carries for him, along with 2 touchdowns.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's the freshman Josh Williams now into the backfield. Receiver comes in motion. Williams is going to get the football. Williams across the 45 and down near the 40. He's going to have 8 yards on first down and bring up a second down and 2.
The Hanover offense has been in a different gear with Williams at running back, and the coaches recognize it. We saw Dunning early on. We saw also Nation back there, but with Williams, this Panther offense has really gotten its mojo, if you will, and Williams putting together a very nice afternoon here on the big stage of the Division III playoffs.
Second and 2 from the Grove City 40-yard line. Slot receiver left, comes in motion to the right side. Raudenbush going to keep the football, and he's going to be pulled down back at the 45-yard line. A couple of Wolverines there to make the stop and bring up a third down and long.
Danny Franco, who's played a lot today, season high in snaps for him due to some injuries in the front. Franco coming through and bringing down the quarterback for a loss, but now another third down. 4 of 11 on third down, but also the 3 fourth down conversions. So in effect, 7 conversions today, third or fourth down. At 3rd and 12 last time, and Raudenbush scrambled for 22.
3rd and 7 for the Panthers. Slot receiver comes in motion left to right. Raudenbush takes the high snap, looks to throw. Fires that pass downfield off the hands of the intended receiver, Grintner, and incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down and 7. A little bit of hesitation by the Panther sideline.
The offense was trying to sell Coach Theobald of, hey, we can get this, but sometimes you want to be aggressive, be bold, be brave. Sometimes you have to go what the book says. The book says punt here.
Epps back to return the punt. No pressure on the kick, and this is going to hit at about the 11 and roll out of bounds with 11:31 to play here in the 4th quarter.
Good directional kick. Nice job by the protection unit. Grove City did not come with the much of a rush there. 4th and 7 on that side of the 50. You have to be alert to the potential of a fake. It would be unlikely that they would, but you have to honor it based on field position, down distance, and a good job by the punter Stoner. And they say out at the 15, so a few yards further up, but still a long field for the Wolverines, and time not on the Wolverine side.
Wiley takes the snap, runs the ball with Rankin to the right side, and Rankin going to get back near the line of scrimmage before being pushed back for no gain. It's 2nd down and 10.
Grove City with the 3 receivers, their base offensive personnel, against fewer defenders in the box, trying to perhaps get Rankin to pop one, but a good job by Hanover's front.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left, the offset back in the backfield. Wiley to throw, steps up, takes the shot downfield, and it's incomplete, and multiple flags on the play.
Yeah, looking for Daniel Sullivan and the cornerback, and he hangs his head now. Kane Powell-Smith. He was kind of over the top, grabbing at him, and he was trying to maintain the ball. Was tipped. I think he's because the ball came out wobbly, and but apparently may just it was not tipped at the line or tipped en route there. Had it been, then that's a you can do it. You can pretty much tackle the receiver at that point. But instead, it is pass interference, and the Wolverines get it at the 31-yard line. But one thing Hanover's done defensively too. We talked about they primarily playing a lot of 4-man front. They've been in a bear front a lot today. They're covering the center and both guards with the 3 linemen, and then having linebackers or ends up, again, showing the 5-man front here.
Wiley going to hand the football off to Ian Demary. Demary across the 35 and down near the 39-yard line. And Demary is going to be just a couple yards shy of the first down. It's 2nd down and 8.
Following Brunette and Lohman, Lucas Lohman, the junior from Chambersburg. His first real extended action of the season. Is that second fullback spot today.
Second down, long one for the Wolverines. Demary gets the football, has the first down to the outside and down near the 45-yard line. That'll move the chains for the Wolverines, stopping the clock momentarily as we approach 10 minutes.
10 minutes is a lot of time. Now, down 17, of course, you're needing the 3 scores, but you can't get 17 at once. Now, you don't want to dawdle, certainly, but still staying within the framework of the game plan.
Wiley to throw it on first down. Deep drop. Takes the one-on-one. McGordy got behind the defender. Made the catch, and Seth McGordy out of bounds at the 15-yard line of the Panthers.
McGordy, good route. Beat the corner, and Wiley put it out there. Having a lot of real estate to work with. Had that whole third of the field here, and it was a go route, but also using the outside room to get additional separation from the defender. First down to the 14.
9:20, clock rolling here in the fourth quarter. Single receiver to each side, both fullbacks to the right. Demary stepped right, cut back between the hashes, and Demary's down to the 12-yard line. He'll pick up 2. It is 2nd and 8. Rankin going to come in. Sampena going to check in at a wide receiver spot. 2 receivers go to the right. That's McGordy to the left side. Rankin is the tailback. Wiley takes the snap, looks to throw, fires across the middle, and a little too high and incomplete for Sampena. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8.
That one came out hot from Ethan Wiley's hand. Penna on the slant, matched up on Shively out there. Shively, one of the starting defensive backs, the free safety covering him that time. Anytime you get receiver on safety, that's a matchup you look to go after, but Wolverines don't connect there.
3rd and 8. Wiley takes the snap. Looking for Sullivan, looping it towards the corner. Caught for a Grove City touchdown. Daniel Sullivan gets the foot down, and the Wolverines are on the board. And for the junior, that's his 6th receiving touchdown of the season.
Sullivan, similar concept to the McGroarty deep shot. Obviously, it's closer to the goal line, but using that room, able to use that extra real estate. The defender had the inside leverage. Wiley threw it to the outside. Sullivan makes the catch, and the Wolverines are on the board with 8.5 minutes to go.
Lambert to snap it. Ellis to hold. Lane for the extra point. Snap and hold, good, and the extra point is also good. The Wolverines are on the board. They cut the lead to 10 with 8:29 to play here in this fourth quarter. It is Hanover 17 and Grove City 7. We'll be back after a quick break on the Wolverines Sports Network.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
8:29 to play in the fourth quarter. The Daniel Sullivan touchdown pass from Ethan Wiley puts the Wolverines on the board, now trailing 17-7. And a Brady Lane on to kick for Grove City. A one returner back at about the 16-yard line for the Panthers, and Brady Lane's just going to kick this one over his head, 3 yards deep into the end zone for the touchback.
Hanover had the hands team out there expecting an onside kick, and Lane just booms it into the end zone, so 25-yard line, and also significant. No time comes off the clock, and 8:29 to go. Still a significant amount of time, but as you start to think about things for the Wolverines to come back, every second matters. So no chance of a return. Hanover at 25. Let's see how Hanover reacts now. With Grove City on the board. Wolverines breaking through on the touchdown catch from Sullivan. A 12-yarder.
Trips to the right. Single receiver left side. Slot receiver right side comes in motion. Sets up as a wing. Raudenbush takes the snap. He'll hand the ball off to Williams. Williams got to the corner and got the first down, but there's a flag on the field.
A lot of frustration by Grinter, the receiver. And you saw him, as soon as that flag came down, he kind of smacked his thigh pads. I think he's going to be the one they get.
Offense number 7.
And indeed, it is on number 7. That'll wipe out most of that gain. The touchdown drive, by the way, was 8 plays, 85 yards. It used 3 minutes and 2 seconds. And the penalty stepped off back to the 19, so it's 1st and 16. The ever popular 1st and 16.
D3 playoffs. Susquehanna now leading W&J. Late third quarter, 28-17. Raudenbush fakes the handoff. He'll stand in the pocket. Going to fire the out. Pass caught across the 30. And just stepping out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
Found Shelby again. 7th catch of the afternoon for him, and it's going to be 3rd and a yard. And obviously a big one here. Hanover can burn up more time with a conversion here.
2nd and 1. 2 receivers to the left.
For a second one, I apologize. Yes, the penalty had me off, but now 2 chances to get that 1 yard.
Raudenbush overlooking the Wolverine defense, showing some pressure coming from the edge. Fakes the option. He'll cut it up inside across the 40 and dives down to the 45. And the Panthers convert the 2nd down and short for the 1st down.
It was an option, but in his mind there was one option, keep. And running off the right side, finding that alley up to the 45-yard line, and Hanover a new set of downs. Can use up some more clock with a 10-point lead.
Approaching 7 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter with Hanover a 17-7 lead. Put a receiver outside to the left. Got a wing and a receiver to the right side that now goes in motion. Gonna give it to Williams, running up the middle across the 50, 45, down to the 44-yard line. And that's gonna be a first down run for Williams.
And of course, we talk a lot with the Grove City offense, the cumulative effect. Well, you have to think of what's the effect today on the Grove City defense. Hanover has had the ball for over 33 minutes today. That was 66 offensive plays. Grove City defense has been out there a lot today. And you see Williams, these gains now, the Rowdy Bush run, and here Williams. Grove City defense has been battling, but they've been out there a lot. And Hanover starting to, those gains are getting larger.
Rowdy Bush to throw. Stepping up in the pocket, swings it to the outside, and that pass is going to be dropped by Williams and incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
A dangerous play there, throwing back across his body, a ball that hung up. And it stops the clock as well. But Brubaker was right there on Williams. So second down and 10. Yeah, that was a play where the risk outweighed the reward. Even if he does make the catch, what's he going to get? A yard or two? Now the clock would keep running, but for having a ball hang up like that, this Grove City defense just had a penchant for taking away the ball this year, especially on interceptions.
Second down and 10. Rowdy Bush going to give the ball to Williams, running to the left, and he is pulled down in the backfield. Brubaker shot clean and dropped him in the backfield for a 3-yard loss.
He came out of nowhere, coming off that backside gap. And just Hanover lost track of him. Brubaker timed it perfectly. It is a loss on the play. Down to 5:35 to go. Grove City still with its 3 timeouts. There's also the 2-minute timeout, but
big third down here, 3rd and 13. Single receiver left, trips to the right side. Running back is to the left of Rowdy Bush, now sends the receiver in motion. He'll drop to throw. Going to fire downfield, pass caught across the 30, 25, and that is a Panther first down to the Grove City 25-yard line.
Shelby on the crossing route. They go to their big guy on 3rd down. Hear the old adage, it's players, not plays. Who are your best offensive players? Rowdy Bush and Shelby. And another 3rd down conversion down to the 25, certainly in field goal range, but at this point, Hanover would be content with just using up the rest of this clock and not even having to worry about kicking anything.
Receiver comes in motion. They are going to give it to Nation, and he got stood up after about a 1-yard gain. And Grove City will use their first timeout. 4:27 to play, 4th quarter. Hanover 17, Grove City 7 on the Wolverines Sports Network.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
.427 to play, 4th quarter, 17-7. Hanover leading Grove City in this opening round of the D3 football playoffs.
Muhlenberg up 31-20 early 4th on Union. LaGrange 17-7 lead in the 3rd over Framingham State. And Springfield doubling up Cortland 14-7 midway through the 4th.
2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Rowdy Bush takes the snap. He'll drop to throw. Standing in the pocket. Now he'll roll to the right side and run across the 25-20. Cuts back 15. And he's down to the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers from the Grove City 10-yard line as we approach 4 minutes to play.
Yeah, Ian Rowdy Bush again, another scramble, but good coverage, but no pressure on him. And again, credit those 5 guys up front for Hanover. Shepard, Percival, Jones, Holloway, and Cruz. If Hanover closes this one out, if you're giving out game balls, get 5 of them for those guys.
First and goal from the 10-yard line. Josh Williams, the freshman running back out of Alabama, is in. He will get the football and get pushed out of bounds about near the 7-yard line. Stops the clock with 3.5 minutes. Now it'll roll.
Of course, that stops momentarily to reset the ball when you're outside of 2 minutes. In the fourth quarter, the collegiate timing rule. Update in women's basketball, Grove City leading Pitt Greensburg 50-40, 3:50 to go in the third quarter.
So it is second and goal for the Panthers. Williams, the running back, to the right of Rowdy Bush, who's going to keep the football. He's going to work his way down to about the 6-yard line, but the clock ran momentarily before Grove City used their second timeout with 2:51 to play here in this fourth quarter.
Nick Clemens tracking down that play from the backside. Second timeout taken by Grove City. A couple other halftime scores on the from the 1 o'clock games. Concordia leading, or excuse me, Coe leading at Concordia of Wisconsin, 17-7. Coe College, of course, the alma mater of Marv Levy. So, of course, longtime NFL coach and USFL coach and CFL coach Marv Levy.
He was all over the place coaching.
And then halftime also Wheaton on top of Crown, 48-7. That Susquehanna W&J game. See if we can get an update on that one for you. Mark gave it a few minutes ago. We'll see if anything has changed. W&J's within 5, 28-23, with 4:35 to go in the third quarter. As Kellen Stahl, PAC Offensive Player of the Year, touchdown pass to John Peduzzi.
ECAC Scotty Whitelaw Bowl. Brockport a 46-3 lead on Geneva in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Third down for the Panthers. Trips to the left side, Twins to the right side. Raudebusch alone in the backfield. He will drop to throw. Stands in the pocket looking back of the end zone. And that pass caught by Jack Pennington, the sophomore, for the Panther touchdown.
Wide open. Nearest man to him was the back judge. And now 23-7. And Hearn can put this one away with the extra point. But another impressive drive by Hanover, a couple of key third down conversions. And that's one of the major storylines today, the offensive line play for Hanover and the ability to sustain drives by the Panthers.
Snap and a hold are good, and the extra point is no good as it hooked off to the right. And with 2:46 to play in the fourth quarter, it is Hanover 23 and Grove City 7. The snap was accurate, but the holder kind of had to readjust the football off to the right side, and it threw the timing off on the Hearns extra point attempt, and he's missed his fourth PAT of the season now, making it 23-7, 2:46 to play in the game.
You know, it may sound overly optimistic, but there's a glimmer of hope still. 16, it's a 2-score game. You need 2 touchdowns. You need 2 twos. You need the ball twice. You have 2:46, okay, long odds. But needing 3 scores, you know, your odds are not, or you have no odds at that point, essentially. So chance here, again, Wolverines still with the timeout plus the 2-minute timeout. Need a touchdown, a 2, and then get the ball back somehow. But a glimmer of hope.
2 men back deep for the Wolverines. High end-over-end kick at the 5, across the 10, 15, cuts back to the 20. Still on his feet across the 25. Flag on the play, and Epps is pulled down at about the 28-yard line. This flag behind the play, back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and the Wolverines are going to be in the shadow of their own goalpost.
During return, block in the back, receiving team number 21.
There'll be a block in the back. It'll be half the distance from the spot. So this drive will begin back inside the 10. The way the sun is shining, the Wolverines literally are in the shadow of the goalpost down there. But nice run back from Cam Epps. He's done a really good job as a kick returner this year. Just a dynamic athlete. Very good basketball player at South Allegheny High School, and we see what he can do out in space. And no doubt somebody that could be pushing for a greater role offensively in down the road. But right now the Wolverines have a long road, 91 yards ahead of them.
Wiley overlooks the defense, takes the snap. He'll drop to his own goal line. Fire downfield, too tall for McGroarty, and incomplete as Wiley had to throw that one a little sooner than he wanted to.
Yeah, that one took off a little. We've seen a couple balls that just haven't come out clean today for Ethan with a little bit of that. He normally has such a tight spiral, and today there have been a couple wobblers out there. And don't know if maybe on one of those sacks did he get banged on the hand, the finger, thumb, etc. But that one just took off on him.
One receiver right, 3 to the left side. 2nd and 10 from the 8-yard line. Play clock now down under 10 seconds. Wiley snaps it with 4 seconds. Stepping up, taking the shot. Sam Penna got behind the defense, caught it at the 50, still on his feet, 40, 30, 20, and down to the 17-yard line. Sam Penna got behind the secondary, and the Wolverines have the football at the 23-yard line of the Panthers.
Nice catch by Penna looking back into the sun. Ethan Wiley aired it out. Big gainer down to the 18-yard line. And the Wolverines will not get off a play before the 2-minute timeout, but they're in business.
2 minutes to play, 4th quarter. Hanover 23, Grove City 7. You are listening to the Wolverine Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and 1 associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
Off the 2-minute timeout, 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Wiley to throw, step up. Wiley's going to run across the 15-10, and Wiley out of bounds near the 7-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Wolverines. Smart play to get what he could and get out of bounds.
Yeah, stops the clock and gets the first down. Ethan using those long strides at 6'3". He's not a burner, but he can go when he has to, and he needed to go there. And 1st and goal at the 8.
2 receivers right. That's McGroarty to the left side. Rankin is the tailback. Play clock at 15 seconds. Wiley adjusting on the fly with some hand signals to his receivers. Takes the snap, gives the ball to Rankin. Rankin at the 5. Rankin into the end zone for the Grove City touchdown. Chase Rankin, the junior, finds the end zone, and for Rankin, he puts the Wolverines on the board.
Now Grove City has to do something it's not done in a decade, and that's get a 2-point conversion. They did go for 2 at Geneva this year, which was the first attempt in 10 years. In a long while, didn't get it. But it's been, I guess if there's ever time to do it, need it now. 23-13, have to get it. And Grove City still has that timeout as well.
Empty the backfield. Wiley looking to throw, looking for McGroarty, and he made the catch for the 2-point conversion.
Ethan took a big hit at the end of the play as he let it go. It was a clean hit, but hard, but 23-15 with 1:47 left.
So the Wolverines get the touchdown from Chase Rankin. His 6th of the season. And now with 1:47 to go, special team coaches getting together on the far sideline. You would anticipate the onside kick coming up.
I stand corrected. First two-pointer in 8 years for the Wolverines. But, yeah, it'll be onside kick time. And see what it may be Devin Thomas who's going to be the onside kick man.
That's who it looks like is coming onto the field. So Devin Thomas, the junior kicker out of Beaver Falls, onto the field.
A lot of low numbers out there for Hanover. All the guys eligible. We see Shelby's the deep man.
Thomas gets his foot into this one. And it's going to roll down the 40 and then took a backwards roll. And the Wolverine players couldn't touch it. It hadn't gone far enough downfield.
Yeah, that thing, he was trying to get the bounce. He got bounce, and a plugger. And just one of those things you would expect to see it happen on grass or mud, but it went out of bounds, and Hanover will take over with 1:47 to go.
And Wolverines had that covered. They were in position well to grab the football, but just had to wait for that third bounce that didn't come.
But the Wolverines still with the one timeout. Hanover has to run some plays.
And two receivers and a wing to the left side. Snap the football, give it to Williams. And Williams across the 30, down to the 29-yard line. There comes that Grove City timeout, their third and final, with 1:42 to play here in the fourth quarter.
So you start doing some math. 1:42 is 102 seconds. So after the second down play, you would have 40. Third down play is 40. So that's 80. That's a difference of 22. Plus whatever time is taken up by the plays, say 5-6 seconds. The Wolverines, if they do get the ball back, barring a turnover, is going to be scant time remaining. But they've hung in there. This Wolverine team has done it all year. They have hung in there. They have battled. And here on a day where not a lot has gone right, they've hung in there and they've given themselves a shot in the final few minutes here on the road in the NCAA playoffs.
2nd and 4 for the Panthers.
Keep an eye on Shelby out of the slot here.
He'll go in motion. They will give the ball to Williams. Williams stood up in the hole right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Brubaker right there. And the other thing, too, mentioning with Shelby in the slot, he's lining up on the near side. We'll see here. If they maybe give it to him, trying to get to the outside, more room with which to work, a play that's going to take more time. If I'm Hanover, I'd rather have the ball in Rowdy Bush's hands or Shelby's hands than my freshman running back. Williams has played very well today, but how much do you trust him? I think Hanover's going to take a timeout and then talk over this third down play.
The play clock roll under 5 seconds. And they will stop it with 1 second on the play clock. Now 55 seconds on the game clock. And the Panthers facing a 3rd down and 4 from the Grove City 29-yard line. Both teams going to their respective sidelines. Winner of this game gets the defending national champions next Saturday on the road outside of Chicago.
Yeah, North Central. That'll be out in Naperville, Illinois. Hanover 4 yards away from securing that for Grove City. First guy, hold him up. Second, third, fourth, start rubbing at the ball. I'm sure Hanover reminding everybody, 2 hands on the ball. Don't try to get extra yardage. Now's not the time to be a hero.
So 3rd and 4 from the 29-yard line. Williams, the running back, to the left of Rowdy Bush. Two receivers also to his left side. We've got movement up front, and here come the flags. So both sides move to see where the penalty is going to go.
And I'll say the Wolverines jumped. And that put a cap on it.
A penalty gives them the first down to the 24-yard line. Rowdy Bush just going to bring everyone in tight. He's just going to elect to take a knee and wind the clock, and they're going to have to snap it one more time. Difference of about 3 seconds between game and play clock. Rowdy Bush will take that knee, and the Panthers will move on to the second round of the NCAA Division III football playoffs. Final score here this afternoon, it is the Hanover Panthers 23 and Grove City 15. Both teams will meet at midfield. Coaching staffs will meet up as well at midfield.
Yeah, impressive performance today from Hanover. We talk about Hanover, the passing game and sort, but really, Hanover, to an extent, used Grove City's recipe on the Wolverines today. Time of possession, almost 2-1, 39:06 to 20:54, 76 plays to 47 for Grove City. 182 rushing yards, 178 for Hanover. Who would have thought that Hanover would have more rushing yards than passing yards today? Hats off to Hanover. The offensive line played great. Just one sack for the Wolverine defense. Grove City showing a lot of guts. In the second half, battling back, giving themselves a chance. But it is Hanover getting the win today, 23-15.
23-15 the final score. Both teams going through the handshakes on the sidelines, and have to give a lot of thanks to the fans from Grove City that traveled all over the country to come here to Hanover, Indiana to witness this playoff game as the Wolverines in the postseason for the third consecutive season. And they will finish up the season at 8-3.
Yeah, a team you think about, in the playoffs for the third straight year, a team that had so many graduation losses on offense last year, or from last year. Took a while to figure out some things. The team really came together, 7 straight wins. Defense had some guys banged up, some guys stepping forward as the season went on. A lot to like from this year, a lot to build upon. The Wolverine program is in a great spot. Today hurts. It's the end of the run. It's the last time we see these seniors in the Wolverine uniform. But they were great leaders, great players, great for the program. They're going to go on and do great things in life. A lot of young guys. They've had great examples, not just this year but previous years, of what it means. The Wolverines, these playoff appearances, we like them, and 3 in a row. Certainly, there's still work to do. W&J won the PAC this year. We see here today, some things to work on to address for next year and down the road. But the Wolverine program is in great shape. A very fine season this year. Coming up a touchdown short today.
Falling this afternoon, 23-15. And you mentioned 3 straight years in the postseason. Definitely not something you take for granted, but you enjoy when the opportunity is presented to you.
Yeah, 3 straight years in the NCAA playoffs, 7 in the postseason overall, with 4 ECAC bowls as well. And unfortunately today, just a little bit too much of a hill to overcome. You think about the turnover near the goal line early on, a missed field goal. Hanover left the door open in the second half or late in the fourth by missing the extra point. It's a lot of things you go back and look at and think, but that's football. That's life. And the Wolverines, they'll regroup. They'll look back at what they accomplished here in 2025, because this was a team that was 1-2, after September 27th, a tough loss to W&J, to rally to make the playoffs. And only 40 teams go. There are over 240 Division III playoff teams. To rally from being 1-2, and after getting beat on your night home game by W&J, this season could have gone any number of directions. This team continued to work, didn't feel sorry for itself, rallied, and ultimately made the playoffs a great magical run. Unfortunately, it ends today here in Southeast Indiana.
And a season of learning, a season of thanking a lot of this senior class for what they have meant to the program. And we will see, because the schedule for 2026 is another tough one in the beginning of the year for the Wolverines.
Yeah, early September, Cortland comes to town. We go to Mount Union in week 2, off in week 3, week 4, St. Francis down in Loretto as they begin their transition from Division I. And, it'll be here before we know it. I hate, say that tongue-in-cheek, but, Lord willing, we'll be back together doing this again next year, Mark.
Year 16 is going to be upon us, hopefully for both of us. And
Absolutely.
Chris.
Yes, and Chris. We thank Chris Birch, who was tuned in today. And so we have lots of thank yous. Him, you, certainly. Jim Craven, who filled in this year for us, and the folks with Western Reserve Radio, Dave Ferris, Jim Craven. I know you assist with that as well. Thank you to them for their support, not just this year, but throughout the years. The administration at the college, President Brad Lingo, the Board of Trustees, Athletic Director Todd Gibson. So thankful for Coach Gibson, our Vice President of Athletics, for what he does for all 24 sports, for all of us, and his support of what we do with our broadcasts, not just with football, but throughout the year. All of that, it is very much appreciated. Thanks to Tyler Grupak, our Assistant Sports Information Director, for all the great work he does, a lot of the social media stuff and so forth. He was running things back at basketball today. He is just a terrific young professional. We thank him. Kathy Jacobs, Jordan Cole in the athletic department, Kim Iliff, our athletic office manager, athletic business coordinator, new title for her this year. But she's the one that really runs things, but we appreciate everything she does. And Vince DeStacy, Vice President for Information Technology. All those folks, as Coach DiDonato says, each of us needs all of us. And everyone has contributed to what we see on the field, what we have here in the broadcast booth. And thank all of them. Can't thank them enough.
And Hanover, who's been great hosts for us.
Yes, absolutely. Ashley Birchmeyer and the great staff here. They have rolled out the red carpet. A top-notch operation. Congratulations to them. Best of luck in the second round. But from A to Z, they have been top-notch, and thanks to them for everything. In the not just today, but in the days leading up to this, we thank them. Anytime you go to a new place, you don't know what to expect, but it was everything was first class here. This was their first playoff game hosting in 23 years. You wouldn't have known that. This was a smooth, seamless operation. Hats off to Ashley and her crew. She is a pro's pro and a real asset to this school and the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference.
And we definitely enjoyed our time while we were here. That is going to do it for us here for the football side of things on the Wolverine Sports Network, as the Wolverines fall in the opening round of the Division III playoffs to Hanover 23-15. For Sports Information Director Ryan Briggs, my name is Mark Means. You've been listening to Grove City College football here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Thank you for tuning into the Wolverine Sports Network. We'll talk to you next time on the home of the Wolverines.